This is Outlaw Window Cleaner Radio, number 32 or 31. I don't fucking know. It's like 32 podcasts, something like that. I'm here with Mark Tanner, as usual, old faithful Mark Tanner. You're probably tired of seeing just me and Mark, and that's okay. We don't give a fuck. You're going to listen to us anyways.
Yeah.
So me and Mark were just bullshitting about, Mark, and I was like, I forgot to hit record. Mark was just out talking about restoration jobs, and I'm like, man, do you do that much restoration? And he's like, well, it kind of comes in waves. And then he started talking about pressure cleaning. He's like, same way with his pressure washer. He won't touch it for months, and then he'll get a stack of jobs lined up. And I interrupted him and, had to hit record, and now we're here. You know what? We always talk about, we always lead off with some fucking, like Mark Tanner story about how to be a better window cleaner, or, hey, don't be a retard, story. And since we're leading with those kind of stories, I just want to know, I'm going to bring this up, and you could either talk about it or not talk about it. It was a personal conversation between me and Mark, but I'm going to bring it up anyways. So,
how about it?
How much does it fucking annoy you when somebody talks about something that they know nothing the fuck about? You know what I mean? They just badmouth something just to badmouth it. You know what I mean? Just to badmouth it.
Dude, we'll tell the whole story, because I could give an ass wipe about who gets upset, just like you. TJ, I think you need to move a little bit in, unless you can see yourself. I know you know how to edit all this. Okay, now I can see you. I got half your head.
All right. Cool.
I don't spend a lot of time. A matter of fact, TJ, to be honest, I think the only reason I haven't left the pro window cleaning group is A, I haven't been kicked out yet. B, that's because I never post there very rarely, unless I'm feeling passive aggressive and want to mess with someone. I'll post something up, waiting for the fucking, the hand to reach into the cookie jar so I can fucking smack them. That kind of takes some frustration out.
Yeah.
And there was a post that really set me off, because I do, when I feel a piece of equipment is good and I promote it, which isn't very often, that.
Right.
I kind of like to think that if someone takes my advice, that they're not going to come back and say I'm a fucking asshole and I wasted my money.
Exactly.
So that said, there was a picture of a gunslinger saying this is the biggest, piece of shit or joke. The fucking thing leaks everywhere, And then there was like 170 fucking comments on it, and I haven't seen that many comments on one post so fast since the Great Soap Wars of 2014.
Yeah, I remember, yeah. I was actually a part of that pro window cleaning group back when that was all going on. That was pretty funny shit. So
and then I figured, you know what, I can rile TJ up by sending him the pictures that he possibly can't see.
Yeah, because I can't.
Yeah.
Chris Lambernides actually sent me a text message on Facebook today, telling me that he doesn't miss one of my episodes of the podcast. So hopefully this doesn't out him out of the closet. But I wasn't going to engage with him with the obvious disregard for each other's social media. I don't give a fuck about. I think what they're doing over there is horse shit. You know what I'm saying? I think it's horse shit. I'm outspoken about it. I don't pull no punches, but I can respect Chris's hustle. I do. He is an entrepreneur. He's out doing his thing, and he's successful at it. Let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? Let's be honest. He's successful at what he's doing. It may not be the coolest. I might not think it's cool, but he's successful at it. I wasn't going to get into that banter with him, but it was cool. It's like, he's like, man, I dig the show. You guys are, whatever. So that's a little bit of I'll tip my hat a little bit to him, but I still think y'all motherfuckers is some rip-off artists over there. So I'm keeping real, cuz. I'm keeping real, homie.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
I just don't like the fact that he lets that shit go on in his fucking group. You won't let me in your fucking group because you're afraid I'm about to be outspoken and be like this, that, and the third. But you'll let guys like James fucking Riley go on for 16, 18 hours straight about how something fucking sucks and he's never even fucking touched it. He's never even used it.
Yeah. We discussed that in a previous podcast where a piece of equipment comes out and you don't necessarily, let's just give the benefit of the doubt that you have one and you don't necessarily use it. You have to alter the way you do things in order to use that piece of equipment, no matter what it is.
Yes.
You know, and so immediately it's a fucking piece of shit. But when you don't even have or never have had hands on a product, to badmouth it and to question its price, and look, my first post was like, look, my gunslinger is a great piece of equipment, and that coming from someone with over 30 years of experience.
Over 30 years experience, not a fucking year and a half cleaning windows, and you just got done. You were just cleaning toilets and fucking vacuuming floors. Now you're a window cleaner and know everything about shit you ain't never touched before. Shut the fuck up, bro.
Well, I've been cleaning for 31 years, since 1987, but I did take a hiatus when my father split his company up. He had 5 partners. I think I told you that. I was without a job for about 6 months. I did some landscaping, then I installed auto alarms back when they didn't put them in every car for 6 months, and every day I knew I wanted back into window cleaning. So that said, even if it's 30 years, take off, a year and a half for the bullshit. To judge something based on its price, or to judge something that you've never physically had your hands on or tried, that's why I said to my buddy, hey man, well, my first comment, which set everything off, was, dude, if you're in business for yourself and you're one of these guys claiming $10 a window and I get $117 to bust the screen washer out, okay, if you're making that kind of cash, what the fuck is $100?
Yeah,
I mean that
the dude's so full. He's so full of fucking shit. It disgusts me, man. You don't have to fake the funk, homie. You know what I mean? Nobody's. You know what I mean? You don't have to fake the funk. You don't have to. His problem. He's got an axe to grind. He doesn't like outlaw. He doesn't like me, and he doesn't like Tim. So he thinks the best way to get back at us is to talk shit about Richie's fucking product. And that right there, I'm telling you right now, that right there, I'm going to say this, and this could be construed as a threat or whatever, but I'll say this. I cannot guarantee you that if I ever met that dude in person, I wouldn't punch him directly in the fucking mouth rather than shake his hand. I swear to God. Punch him square in his fucking mouth. That's how...
Right, yep.
Yeah, because he won't shut his mouth. That's my problem. It's like you don't want to... You don't want nobody talking about you, but you can't shut the fuck up.
TJ, here's what you got to think about, okay? And I've been in, over time, I've been in sheriff arguments that have turned into fights, gone physical. And most of the time, especially behind a phone screen or a laptop or whatever, however you're on the internet, people have a Rottweiler bark and a Chihuahua bite, meaning they come up all fucking badass, and then you stomp your foot and they run away. Like a Chihuahua would. They run the fuck out of the room.
Alligator mouth and a hummingbird ass is what we call that.
Yeah. So, look.
Google your boy, because I ain't playing.
when someone responds to something that you say, and the first 3 or 4 words is "with all due respect," then you know that they're already starting to backpedal. Yeah. Right there.
Yeah.
They got the fucking reverse lights on and the backup cameras,
Right.
So I'm like, that's when I asked you, does James Riley, is it possible he has a gunslinger? Because I'm not going to open season on this ass. Look, it might not be for everybody. I mean, hey.
Well, the guy, the original poster dude, the guy that posted the picture initially saying it was a piece of junk and whatever because it was sloshing water. I could get him voicing his frustration because he's spent his $100 and he's given what he feels is a fair assessment of the product. I think it's operator error. I use mine. I've used mine since February, and I had to kind of adjust a little bit the way that I was doing things. I can't I can't just dunk my mop in a fucking bucket, put it out, and slam it in there, and I'm not You know what I'm saying? And then expect it to fill halfway up with fucking water and then walk around with it. What bucket on a belt are you doing that with?
Well,
you've got plastic ones, right, Mark? How much fucking water can you put in a plastic bucket? Give me a fucking break.
I can tell you this. I will do a fucking test because I thought about this. I spoke to Richie. I think it was yesterday. We spoke on the phone, and you know, my line, and there were, out of the 170 something comments, there were a lot of positive.
Of course,
gunslinger comments.
Of course.
And so the two things I want to say is, number one, I would be, I explained the gunslinger, like Richie says, really wasn't designed to walk around with a gallon of water on you. Okay.
Exactly.
It's to catch the water and you have some reserve. Number two, I would be willing to bet you that I can take water bottles, drinking water bottles, and put more water in my gunslinger than I can with tools in it. I'm talking about with tools in it. I can put more water in my gunslinger without it spilling than I can in one of those plastic ones, because to my recollections, they're not much bigger than the mop in diameter.
Yes.
Okay, so you literally put that 18 or 22 inch mop in there. You've got this much room all the way around it to fill. Okay, and when you lift that thing up, it's going to dump water everywhere. I don't care who you are. You can't scrub it around on the sides and make the water go back into the chamber.
Right. Well, see,
but
go ahead.
I carry a lot of water in mine, and I don't, honestly, I put it in a position where if it's, today, 90% of my work is outside anyway. I don't give a fuck if it's dropping on someone's bushes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I know when I get to a point that it's time to go inside, I make sure my shit is dry when it goes in there, and it's just
as you would with any other fucking tool caddy that you wear on your fucking waist. It's like, oh well, I spent $100 on this, so I can be as careless as I fucking want to be. Listen, let me explain it to you, fucking numbskulls. Okay, the gunslinger. The whole idea of it detaching in the fucking center right there, it was designed to catch the water from your washer sliding into the gunslinger and reserving it in the bottom. You know what I'm saying? So if you wanted to, you can dip your washer in it. Not like, you know what I'm saying? It's a tool caddy. It's not to be meant to be filled with fucking a half a gallon of water so you don't ever have to use a bucket again the rest of your fucking life.
Yeah.
From my experience using it since February, I make less trips to the bucket because I'm not, that water from that transition of my washer, like I've said in my fucking videos a gajillion fucking times, that transition where that mop goes back in there, just do it yourself with your old plastic buckets. When you slide that washer in there, water runs down the side of it. Even the fucking Samurai. It's in videos, James, so shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That fucking tip jar will catch that water instead of it running down on the floor or on your fucking leg. It does not mean that you should fill it up with fucking water, like dunk your gunslinger in some water and then boosh, boosh, boosh. I mean, why? I know we're cleaning windows, you know what I mean? And it's not a very, like, you got to have a lot of fucking, knowledge to clean windows, maybe to not fuck them up. But, I mean, is there no one have any fucking common sense out there? I hate to get all defensive and shit, but Jesus Christ, man.
Well, wait a minute. Let's, part of that, you're correct, but part of that post, I sent you, look, I physically didn't have the time, nor I'm sure did you want to read it.
No.
178.
Of course not. Of
text.
course not.
I showed you a couple of them, but if you saw the gist of it, one of the comments that James made was, number one, he said, why would I buy something and have to alter it? Well, throwing a sponge in the bottom of it isn't altering anything. It's just carrying something else with you that not only fixes the issue if you have too much water in it, which isn't the gunslinger's fault, that's your fault, too much water, slows down that sloshing, A, and B, like I told Richie, the guy Gary that I got to buy a gunslinger, because he was so happy with it, he went and bought 2 small sea sponges, and I never got the sea sponge thing in window cleaning, but a lot of guys use them.
I use them.
Yeah, and I cut a sea sponge in half, and I chuck it in the bottom of the gunslinger. And here's my thing, that fucking sea sponge holds a lot of water. So I used it yesterday. I remember I was walking around this country club doing restoration. I was at the point where I was, scrubbing, scouring, and detailing and finish washing the glass. I was 75 feet away from my bucket because I had my gunslinger, I literally reach down put my hand into the gunslinger, which you can't do. I got big fucking hands.
Yeah. Oh,
but
yeah,
you can't reach into
big old hands.
Okay. But you know what they say about big hands.
Yeah. Big gloves, motherfucker. That's what they say.
Yeah. Probably true.
Yeah.
But you can't, to my knowledge, at least none of the plastic buckets on a belt I own, I can't get my hand in there if I threw a sponge. And I would have to turn it upside down to get the sponge out.
Yeah.
But my point is this. I literally held my mop on the glass, grabbed my sea sponge, put it above, on the outside, of course, put it above the washer, squeezed it against the glass. It soaked up more than the washer could hold, and I cleaned another 10 windows. You can't do that with anything else, okay? No. So the issue I have is if you're judging something and you've never had your hands on it, like someone said something about Mormon squeegees, and look, I've trashed those before. I trash them to you. I'll trash them to Mormon themselves. Maybe they'll improve the product. The fucking clips fall off. The thing is a piece of plastic, sloppy at best, and I own 2 of them. I gave one away to a guy that I restored his shower enclosure, didn't have a shower squeegee. I go, here, you can fucking have this piece of shit. You know, I'm not asking for my $32 fucking back for the 2 squeegees. I'm asking, I just never buy them again. And people that use them, if you make them work, so be it. I'm not judging that. But what I'm saying is I trashed it after I tried it. And I gave it a fucking good go. And I'd like to think that after, 30 years of window cleaning, I could be a decent judge of window cleaning tools. That doesn't mean I can't change my technique to make something work, But James's comment was, why would I buy that for $100 then have to buy a sponge? A fucking sponge?
Right.
Really?
I mean, and let's just completely disregard the fact that your main man, 50 grand, Kevin the fucking window cleaner, just posted a video today and I've seen it, and everyone else is fucking see it. His James Riley's the end all be all samurai. Fucking guys Kevin's on fucking YouTube with zip ties. Here's how you fix your strap on the samurai. Get yourself some zip ties. Yeah, he undoes the fucking clip and then puts zip ties on it. And then there's another guy Mario from Old School Window Cleaners, the group that he runs. Mario, his sons are a couple of boxers. He's fucking got rid of all of that shit and just bolted the fucking thing to his fucking strap so it doesn't flop around. Yeah. That's one thing that don't tell me. Listen, man, that shows James Riley's fucking inexperience. If you clean windows, you are going to adjust your fucking tools to the way that you clean fucking windows. Period.
Exactly.
Period.
Exactly.
You're going to modify and do things to your tools that suit what you do. And if you buy something Gunslinger, universal, a piece of equipment, you have to adjust the way you are working with, like, the same way I would with my Pulex bucket or my fucking Samurai or anything else. I have to adjust my muscle memory, the way I do things to it. You can't expect it just to conform to you. It's a fucking inanimate object.
Well, here's the thing. Like Richie said, every tool has its own personality, and that stuck with me when he said that, because I have a lot of the tools,
Yeah.
But it's true. And here's the funny thing. I'm the king of fucking with my shit. I get a squeegee, I drill holes in it. I get a mop, a T-bar, I drill fucking holes in it. I zip tie the cover. By the way, I was watching your Unger video, and it was driving me nuts, that gray and white stripe washer cover of yours, and you had the pole cam on, and that thing was moving like a limp dick. And I was like, I'm sending you some fucking zip ties.
Say that. I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, I didn't sleep.
As soon as you said it, I knew you were going to. I have a hard time putting holes in it. Those things are expensive. I have a hard time putting holes in it, but the next video, I'm going to poke holes in it in the morning. I'm going to poke holes in it in the morning just for you.
Little ones, penal size,
So, just enough for me, huh? Boop, boop.
Yeah. So, but here's the thing. I've altered, like, if I get, you use the Unger poles. Yeah. I like the garlic poles. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I take the grip off and put a silicone bicycle handle grip on it because it's more comfortable in my hands. Again, altering the tool. The Gunslinger, I haven't fucking touched it. I just use it.
Me too, man.
I throw a sponge in there. That's not altering the tool.
No.
You know.
No, that's adjusting the tool to your style of work. Period, dude. Period.
Well,
now the whole Mormon thing, I heard something about maybe it's sitting in there and the Mormon rubber is bending or some shit like that. That's cheap fucking rubber.
Dude,
first of all.
Look,
second of all, if the clips are coming off in the gunslinger thing, that's fucking that's not the gunslinger, that's the fucking squeegee you're using.
Well, when I did the Mormon thing, gunslinger wasn't even you probably didn't even have your prototype.
No.
I got these things. I grabbed it out of the
I had two
pack.
full sets of every.
I noticed it. Yeah,
every
I
size
noticed
that Mormon came out with initially, every size available. I bought one of every size too.
Yeah.
From WCR.
Well, I got mine. I looked at it and I'm like, this is fucking chintzy. I mean, the swivel pivot handle would move, 10 degrees with the screw tight. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I don't like that. Then I'm like, the fact that when they were assembled, which I bought them assembled, the channels were installed on the washers. It was pulled so tight it was bowing the channel. Mm-hmm. So I know the channel has no strength. I do commercial work. I tried it out at Whole Foods. If I squeeze between some shopping carts, that thing's gonna fucking bend.
Yeah.
If it was long ways in my holster. Right. And at the time I wasn't using gunslinger. And I walked up to trim in a piece of window just like you do across the top and down, and it left an inch on each side. And I'm like, all right, I may adjust this. And then I was messing around with it, and I went to do it again, and the plastic clip fell off. And then I went to stick it on, and it was crooked. And I'm looking at this thing, and one of my guys pulls in, and I'm like, hey, Mike, give this a try. And he put it in his hand. He goes, it's a fucking toy. What are you giving me here? I go, I want to see if it's something I'm doing wrong. He goes, he starts squeegeeing with it, and it's leaving shit everywhere. And I'm bending it, I'm straightening it out, trying to make it work. And I got it to where it cleaned the entire window. But I'm just like, this will last 10 minutes in my world. That's what it will.
Yeah, same here with me.
The first time you drop it, those fucking clips are going exit stage left. You're not going to find them.
Okay? I mean, if you're a YouTube window cleaner, and and all that shit, that's perfect for YouTube window cleaning. I think you got nothing better to do.
The thing is,
a squeegee.
The one thing I'll tell you this is, when I learned window cleaning, it was brass handles and brass channels, and we'd put a slight crown in the brass on an 18 or a 22, so it would lay flat when you put it on a pole. Okay, you knew how to do that. My father taught you'd hit your knuckles every time you finish off a window because there's no angle. You'd have to reach way up with the pole to finish on top of the transom of the door to not leave that.
I got permanent bang bangs on my knuckles right here from hitting the fucking with my channels.
This is my belief that it's great to learn with that, because if you can master that squeegee, you put a Sorbo in your hand, you're a fucking Cadillac. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I started with brass channels. I still use brass channels every day. Residential work, that I use my 16-inch brass Unger squeegee or my 12-inch brass Unger squeegee. Speaking of the liquidator with the shroomed ends and shit like that, if you want a tucked-in squeegee like that, go out and buy an Unger S Plus channel. They're fucking gangster. They're aluminum, and they're not fucking, shit's not falling off of them. I use them every day.
Here's the thing. I have probably every size Sorbo that was made. Over time, I've bought them and put them away and whatnot.
Right.
For 6, 8, 12, any of the smaller squeegees, I just prefer brass.
Yeah.
Because you can cut that rubber so sharp and get it into the corners.
Oh, yeah.
And very little detailing. And because brass, usually when I'm doing cut-ups, they're not deep mullions like a commercial storefront that has that 1.5, 2 inch mullion.
Usually a half inch.
Yeah. I mean, so I love, that's what I still use for my cut-ups. Even my 6-inch Sorbo, it's just so bulky on a cut-up. I prefer brass. That's me, And again, to get back to it, look, we've become a society of, I'm going to judge everything and I know nothing about it. And that's fucking wrong, because the only one that hurts is Richie. Okay. And my point is this, that unless you've experienced it, don't fucking judge it. I'm not going to tell you something's a piece of shit unless I've had my fucking hands on it. Have you heard me say anything about Samurai? I respect the dude that make it. I don't even know his fucking name. But my point is, I'm not going to trash his shit I'm not gonna trash his shit without having
I'm a little upset with him, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
And the reason, and this is why I'm not, in my dealings with him, he's always been a very cordial and nice guy. But just from my dealings with Richie and this last 2 or 3 months with the gunslinger samurai thing and all that stuff, Richie has always been like, even on the podcast and in private, like if that shit gets brought up, Richie will automatically he can't help himself, be like, well, I won't say anything bad about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if we start to get in and go in on shit, he will correct us like, let's talk about something else, guys, or let's not do that. You know what I mean?
Well, he's on the opposite end of the coin. He's selling us something. We're selling ourselves and selling our service.
Well,
which
yeah, but
is not
this is my thing. You've got these guys, these two dudes, these two YouTubers, fucking Kevin the Window Cleaner and James Riley, that are supporting their Captain Samurai. They've been leading the charge this whole time, and look at the way they handle themselves. Yeah, people like to talk about us like, oh man, you guys, TJ cusses all the time, and this, that, and the third, and you know what I mean? Yeah, but you don't see me on social media in these groups where all these fucking window cleaners, hundreds and if not thousands of window cleaners, see all this shit on a daily basis. You don't see me on there. That thing's a fucking piece of fucking shit, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You don't see me doing that. You don't see me doing that because that's just not fucking cool, man. Because Jared's trying to feed his fucking kids. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I can tell you this. I don't remember the name
James Riley's
of the guy.
A fucking piece of shit.
The guy that put the original post up that showed his gunslinger, it almost came across as, and I say that one video where the guy was bending forward and the fucking squeegee fell out instantly is almost set up, and it's $100 to go set up and trash something. Yeah. Because here's the thing. What if I bought the gunslinger? Okay, and I did buy my gunslinger because you touted it, okay, and I trust your word. But if I bought my gunslinger and I didn't know you, or even the fact that obviously I do know you, if I was having an issue with it, I wouldn't go post it and say this is a piece of shit. I would call Richie, and if I couldn't get what I want out of Richie, I'll call Perry. They're the first to fucking take care of the shit. I would go, hey.
And there are guys out there that fucking, had issues, reached out to me like, hey man, you said this and this and this, and I'm like, hey man, I'm not the guy to talk to. Get a hold of Richie. Yeah. And they did that, and guess what? Within 3 fucking days, they had themselves a new fucking gunslinger. Everything was fucking sorted out, and all of that input from that initial wave, people get pissed off like, oh well, they should have held it off and waited until it was fucking perfect. Seriously. Well, did Ed erase the cone? Did he make the first fucking squeegee and it was fucking perfect from the day he fucking made that first one?
Of course not.
I'll wait, you fucking idiots.
Dude, it's not like it wasn't tested. You had one, and you said a bunch of even what's his name?
Tim.
The sword guy. The guy with the. It just drew a blank.
Oh, Henry Dries.
Henry Dries. He had one as a tester, and you know what? I looked at that and said, "How the fuck did you get one?" And I didn't.
Yeah.
But he had a tester.
Right.
Yeah. You need to send it back, Henry.
Yeah.
It was just a trial basis, fucker.
So, and that's the thing. I'm not saying I was very adamant in my videos. Like, listen, man, this thing fucking works for me. I was a blue Pulex detachable bucket guy for fucking since 2005. You know what I mean? A long motherfucking time, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, when fucking Tim approached me with this, he's like, I know TJ's been cleaning windows a long time. I know how much work TJ does. I know he does commercial and residential work. It would be cool if we get TJ to try one of these out, and maybe he can give you some input too. That's how this all started. Was me as a resi guy and a commercial guy, one that does 50-50, to try this out and see what I thought of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And there were some growing pains there. I'll admit that. But the more I was like, you know what? If I adjust this and start doing this way. Now, dude, I'm not looking for my I just drop shit in there. I just like drop shit in there. You know what I'm saying?
It becomes habit. But here's the thing. When Gary got his, and Gary does, he's a one-man show, and he does probably 30-40% residential. The first thing he said was, "Oh, this is going to be great for residential." I go, "Yeah, it is, because you could put a ton of shit in there." Right. I go, "But don't if you're going to do houses here and there and wear it here and there," I go, "you need to put that fucker on and use it every day, and you'll see that it can be beautiful in commercial work." And I fucking love my shit. I told Richie the other day, I said, my truck is new, so I don't put it in the back seat of my truck.
You weren't a bucket on a belt guy either, were you?
Never. I used it a handful of times doing ladder work. That was it. I have one in my toolbox.
Yeah.
Doing ladder work, the green Unger one, and then I have a couple. I have a black Ettore one, but I lost the clip part that goes
Team
on the
Unger
belt.
over here. Team Unger. I'm Captain Unger.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be Unger's best friend. Hey, Unger. Mark Unger. Hey. I need a sponsor on my podcast, bro. How about some T-shirts? A hat or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Help a brother out.
Yeah.
I'm all Unger in my videos. What's up? Hey, help me out, bro.
Send a reach around, but here's the thing.
Except for my Sorbo channels. Don't be mad at me, bro.
Yeah, they got the market.
Yeah, them Sorbo channels are gangster. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that, I took it from never wearing a bucket on a belt of any sort other than an occasional ladder job. So, honestly, 2 to 3 times a year for me, or if my guys were working and I was footing the ladder, I'm like, hey, hang on, and I give them the bucket on a belt. Or I have one of my Whole Foods, I have to walk on top of shopping carts to get to the windows. Uh-huh. And I'd rather not climb up and down the shopping carts because they always open up. So I put my bucket on a belt on because I could carry enough water to do 15 windows. Well, that was the extent of it. And it was always banging me in the knee. It was always clumsy. I'd have to take it off every time I, take it off my belt, dump it out, put it in the bed of the truck till it dried. Then I put it away in the toolbox for 6 months. Right. But the point is, I went into Gunslinger I said, I'm doing this to support it. TJ says it's great. And I can't take the fucking thing off, man. I look forward to using it every day because I figure another thing it's good for. Today I did glass restoration all day, okay? So I had my Gunslinger, and I kept my polish in where I keep my mop, and I kept my spray bottle where I keep the squeegee. And then when I would get ready to detail glass, I already had my sponge and a piece of steel wool floating in the bottom of it. I take that out, put my mop and squeegee in there, do the windows, and not one point in time did I have to walk back to the bucket. I had everything with me all the time. So I don't
know what to tell people, man. They act like this is some kind of fucking big government fucking conspiracy. Like we're all, that's not the truth. You know what I mean? It's just like, come on, dude. Go watch Kevin the Window Cleaner's fucking videos. Dude, you got to go watch that fucking. This dude is fucking dancing. Yeah. He's dancing. Yeah. He's dancing. Like he was dancing.
Yeah, dancing.
Dude, if that video don't get chopped up and get clowned on, I'll be surprised, man, because it's real bad, bro. If I was him, I'd take it down. Wow, bro.
Well, you know what? If I gave a shit enough, I'd say I'd give him an open challenge. Clean 10 windows and as fast as you can, do a good job, and not horse around. I guarantee his technique sucks ass anyway. Guarantee it. He has no fucking clue. Yeah. Part-time fucking hack. But whatever. That's the nature of this fucking industry.
Dude, I just dislike that kind of thing. I just dislike it. Well, we tried to take the high road with this fucking samurai thing. When all this shit was going on and we were talking about the podcast here and there when me and Tim and Josh were on, and several others, we tried to take the high road with it and everything, but these dudes just won't fucking quit. So now it's open season. I'm going to fucking flame you two dudes every chance I fucking get. And Chris Lambrinides, you kicked that fucking James Riley out of your fucking group, then you let him back in. Why? Because the fucking Samurai. Did you do a personal favor for fucking Jerry? Like, hey, you gotta let James back in, man. You know, he needs to be a part of something. That's that dude's fucking problem. He's got this need to be a part of something. That's the only thing I can understand is like he was like ostracized in school or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, so now he feels like I've got the internet, I can play pretend and everyone's gonna like me. You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand. Why would you sit and spend that much fucking time on Facebook talking shit about something you've never laid your fucking hands on?
Here's the thing. Two things I want to say before you
go on. Again.
No. Yeah, you're Marcus baying me over here. God damn it!
I'm sorry,
my show.
Bro.
My show. No, but here's the thing. I'm very fortunate, and I never forget because it's been reminded to me that I was taught by my father, who when I worked with him had 10 years experience when I started, but his partner had like 50 years experience in high rise, and they used to do belt work and block and tackle work. Mm-hmm. And I knew that these were the people to get as much information for free as I can, and basically mentor me into what I do today. And then I worked with John, who had 30 years experience, and I thought I was a great window cleaner. I'd show up, and I remember the first day that I came out to this job working for a company, the guy introduced me to John, says, "This is John. He's in charge of the route." And John was I'm going to say it to your face, kind of very blunt person. And a lot of people didn't like him because of that, but I learned to respect him. The first thing he did was he reached in his bucket. We were at a mall. We didn't even clean the job that we were standing in front of when he was introducing me. He grabs an 18 mop, 18 squeegee, and he basically smashes me in the chest with it and goes, "Here." And I go, "What?" And he goes, "I want you to clean that window right there." And I go, "Okay." And I walk up and I wash the window, and he goes, "He'll do. We got to tweak him, but he'll do." And I was like, at first I was like, "Fuck you, asshole. I'll fucking run circle around your old ass." But that wasn't the right way. The right way was to extract what I could out of him. Mm-hmm. So here's my thing, TJ. If young people coming into this industry are trying to extract knowledge from someone who's either A, part-time, B, using a water-fed fucking pole on a Burger King, C, bringing every free product they can put to their hip, that when you climb a ladder, it spins around like fucking wind chimes, okay? If you're getting advice and information from that guy, then you're just spreading bullshit, okay?
And our industry and our trade is fucking going to be left to a bunch of fucking idiots that that haven't been taught proper, and all they care about is sticker brands and fucking shit that don't make no sense, instead of learning what you can learn from dudes that have been doing it. And I'm not saying me personally, because I'm wet behind the ears still when it comes to guys like Mark Tanner and fucking Todd Ford and fucking Tim Huber as also. I mean, just, you know, there are guys that have been doing this way longer than I have, and I come from an industry where, you know, building homes and stuff like that, working construction, being a carpenter, if you come in with that kind of fucking attitude, you're not going to have a job very fucking long. You're going to sit there, shut the fuck up, and listen to the lead guy, and he'll show you how to do what you need to do moving forward. And if you don't have the aptitude to take shit or eat shit for a little while to earn your respect, get your belly full of shit, then start to push your weight around. You know what I mean? Put a little weight on before you start talking shit, or like, I know all there is to know about all of this, but I will say, contradict myself very shortly afterwards and say, I've only been doing this a couple of years. Then what the fuck do you know? You know what I'm saying? You're just learning too, man. It's called be humble, you fucking assholes. You don't have to get on YouTube and tell everybody, hey man, I know everything, for people to respect you. Just be like, be humble and say, hey man, I don't know it all. This is just what I know. I like this product because I like it. You know, I like the guy that makes it, and it works for me. Not like this is way better than everything else. Yeah.
Well, look, I've always said this too. And it goes back to learning with brass channels like I did. Mm-hmm. If you have to rely on one specific piece of equipment to allow you to do your job the right way, yet that's a new piece of equipment and the other shit's been around for 50 years and you can't master that, then you're never going to be Dude, I learn shit every fucking day.
So do I.
Okay, every day, and I've been doing. I've cleaned millions of panels of glass, and I was like trying to figure out ways to refine what I do. And sometimes I'll change things up. But the point is, like one guy that worked with me goes, "You always start on the left and work to the right," and I'm like, I never thought about that, but you're right. I go, but when we work together, you start in the fucking middle, and I don't know where you started and stopped. I'm looking at the ledges, and if you wipe them off, I might be cleaning your windows.
Fucking weird,
you start down there, I'll start here.
Are
but
you
then
a righty?
He's like, well, yeah.
Because
I'm a righty, and
I start on the left too.
Yeah,
I started on the left to work right.
Yeah, but see, once he put that in my fucking head, right? Now I go, okay. All of a sudden, boom, a light comes on. Got to start on the right this time. So I mix it up because that changes your technique, makes you better with the left, makes you better with the right. I mean, dude, even where you put, if you're not wearing a gunslinger, or even if you are, where you place your bucket. Okay, dude, I've had guys come to work with me, and I tell them right away, I don't care the way you do it. You're going to see the way we do it. You can use your technique to wash windows, open your mind to other methods, and maybe what you're doing is perfectly fine. But like one guy that worked with me, lay the pole on the ground, the 4/8 pole, right? Wet down 4 storefronts, pull the tops on 4 windows, and then he lays the pole on the ground. And I'm looking at him like, okay, number one, that's a trip hazard. Some fucking yutz is going to trip on that pole just to sue me. A. B, you bent down to lay it on the ground. Now you're going to bend down to pick it up. How many times are we going to do that today? You like bending over? What the fuck are you doing? Right. Stupid. Yeah.
I got one for you. Fucking Jeremy, he's still, I'm just, Jeremy's got about a month under his belt. He's come along pretty good. Jeremy's doing really well. He's actually a big proponent of the 18-inch liquidator. He loves it.
Fuck you, Jeremy.
Yeah, well,
he's junk.
Our liquidator has been heavily modified. It has been JB welded the ends on. So
why would you pay $8 worth of JB weld on a squeegee? You just
yeah. Well,
no, but if it's working for him,
this is what he does. I mean, he can't clean. Every time he tries to use it in a fucking McDonald's or something, or a fucking Burger King, or a fucking Wendy's, I'd be like, go to the truck and get go get an 18-inch Sorbo before I slap the fucking shit out of you. It's driving me nuts because you fucking leaving marks all over the fucking place on the ends. The closing, it just doesn't do well on commercial glass. I don't care what anybody says. But he fucking sets the fucking bucket down, the square bucket, the rectangle. He sets the bucket down where we're walking all the time. Like when I walk up to a storefront and I need the bucket, like I'm doing a big strip mall, I'll set the bucket against the fucking wall. Not where I'm walking at. Twice now, I've almost fell and busted my fucking shit because Jeremy's got the bucket. And I'm like, why do you do that? He's like, I don't know. It just seems like the right place to put it. I'm like, why though? He's like, well, it seems like it would be in the way up against the wall. I'm like, dude, if listen, I'm going to fucking kill you. I always give him shit because Jeremy is a legitimate amateur and pro record in fucking MMA. Like legitimate. Like, no bullshit.
He will fuck you up.
No. Fuck that. I'll MMA the fuck out of Jeremy. Fuck that motherfucker. There ain't no referee on the streets. I'll hit him in the head with a brick.
No rules.
No rules, motherfucker.
Hey, but, Tommy, I didn't hear no bell.
Yeah, you didn't hear no bell.
I didn't hear no bell, Tommy.
Ain't no rules in the street. Ding, ding. I just, you know what, dude, I hate to harp on that fucking shit and all of that stuff, but we don't really address any of that shit. We just kind of absorb it like sponges, and like I said in the last podcast, sometimes you just got to wring the sponge out, man. There's only so much fucking the sponge can soak up before you got to wring it out, man. And those two fucking dudes are clowns, man. I'm sorry, you guys are fucking clown shoes, man, for real. Big red, sloppy, floppy, fucking clown shoes, you guys. All you need is a fucking red honky nose and you're fucking ready for Ringling Brothers. A couple of clowns.
Part of the problem is that that fucking pro window cleaning group is huge. There's a lot of fucking people in there.
Oh, yeah.
So their shit is getting out to a lot of people. And you know what? I would say probably only 25% of the people on that page actually post anything, and everybody else is just watching and looking and hopefully not taking everything so seriously with the shit they do. You know, like I said, I stay away because almost every other post is so fucking negative and just so I'm gonna bludgeon this fucking guy. And look, we're all guilty of it. I told you, I'll put shit up there being passive aggressive just to fucking twist someone's nipples. You know, so I can fucking. It's like, okay, I'm gonna push you to the edge of the cliff, and then as soon as you say something, your shit is going off. You know.
See, that's what I don't get. That's what I don't get about the way they run that over there. It's like you don't want nobody in there against the party lines, but all you guys do is talk shit in there. It's just a constant talking shit, and they make it out to be like, oh man, this is just such a great group. No, you guys are fucking like a cult over there, like a bunch of fucking freaks. These motherfuckers got fake profiles over there and shit. They're clearly in our fucking group. There's Chris Lambrinides has got to have himself a fucking a fake profile and outlaw window cleaner, because that motherfucker just knows way too much. You know what I mean? And again, I'm not hating on Chris. You know, you do your thing, player. You're killing it. You're fucking selling shit. You got that fucking turd Luke the window cleaner on fucking YouTube just fucking raking in the dough for you. I mean, anything that dude buys, everybody's fucking, you know what I mean, just falls all over themselves to get. You know what I mean? He's like the fake LeBron James of window cleaning. I mean, he called himself the LeBron James of window cleaning. It's so fucking
what?
Not so much. He's like, you know, he like kind of compared himself a little bit to LeBron James, and he's like, you know, I don't know. I'll show you the particular video. It's kind of comical, but. You know, he's one of those flick dudes. You know, he does the whole window. He cuts the top in, and then goes down the left, down the right, and then does 14 moves across the center. I've been seeing these dudes use these flicks on fucking video. It's just like, dude, the amount of fucking energy. Is that? Do you really think you're faster than me with my 22-inch fucking Sorbo on that same window? I will fucking make you guys look like a bunch of fucking momos. I do it every day on YouTube. Every time you see me post a fucking video, I know I clean glass faster than both them fucking turd burglars. I know it.
Well, that's the thing. Here's the thing. You're right about that. You watch it, and they got a 30-inch wide window and a 22-inch squeegee, right? So they'll go into the left, across, down. Now the only thing left is this much in the middle, and they go this way.
Well, no, these dudes. No, this is.
Sorry about that.
No, that's incorrect. That is incorrect. They're on like 30-inch pieces of glass with 12-inch fucking squeegee.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, maybe 14 inches at the max. And do that fucking doody-doo shit. I mean, just dude, give me a fucking break. I will not say anything else about it if all you guys that do that on YouTube just start the video by saying, I do this because it looks cool. And we can fucking move on with our lives, because it's not faster. It's not. It's not. And you not getting out a Huck towel doesn't make you an awesome window cleaner. Look, I don't have to use a towel. Well, if you're not using a towel, you fucking suck. Sorry, newsflash, you blow. You blow.
Look, I've always said this before. If you got an 18-inch squeegee, take off 17 inches of water.
Yes, man.
Pretty simple.
Fuck, dude.
I'm going to buy a 32-inch squeegee, and we're going to take off water in 2-inch increments. Check this out. Fucking idiot. Yeah. Fucking idiots.
Dude, it looks cool. Listen, I'm not hating on these dudes. Like, even Marcus Bay has got a fucking wagtail that does all that flippity-doo-dah shit, and Marcus Bay takes off as much water as fucking possible with each pass of his wagtail. So does Richie, uses wagtail. There's a lot of guys out there that wagtail, that use them properly. These fucking, it's just for show, bro. Look what I can do real fast, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Get the fuck out of here, man. You're lucky there's not a dude that lives in your town with a 22-inch squeegee and he's hungry for another cheeseburger, because you fucking wouldn't have no work, homie.
Yeah, well, where I come from, we call that amateur hour, and that's all it is. It's all flash and bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all flash.
Now, I'm not saying these dudes can't clean windows. Luke can clean a window. I'm not saying that he can't. But I just feel like there's a false narrative going out in YouTube land where these guys think this is the way to clean a window. It's not.
No.
It's not.
No.
It's not the way to clean a window. It's not the way to fucking get people into our industry. It's not the way to sell products the way these guys handle themselves. I'm sorry. Again, like I said, I know Chris listens to my podcast or watches my podcast. Man, you gotta, I mean, come on, man. Just give it a rest, man. You know what I'm talking about. You know what you guys are doing. I mean, just give it a rest. I'm telling you, man, karma's a bitch, man, and you guys are about to get hit with that motherfucking karma train. I'm telling you, you guys are in for it, bro. Jesus, man, I feel bad for y'all, because you guys got, you fucking, that crew over there is what they've done is they've lit a fucking boiler fire that's out of fucking control in this industry. And I'm telling you what, right now, the steamrollers are coming. Fucking, you better start fucking squirreling away, homeboy. That's all I gotta say. Yeah. Because, you know, people are getting wise to the fucking shit. You know what I mean? When I joined Outlaw Window Cleaner in February, because I was a part of no window cleaning groups, because it's a shit show. And it's a constant fucking harassment is what it is. Just constant fucking idiots on there. You know what I'm saying? There's some I've met some super cool dudes after I joined Outlaw Window Cleaner. Some really cool dudes that I like to call friends. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Dude, that group has grown exponentially. There was like 200 or 300 members when I joined that fucking group. It's over 1,000 now. Yeah. In just a short amount of time. You guys, I'm telling you, man, the narrative that you've painted and what the things that you've tried to use against us, I mean, first of all, are just completely baseless and fucking ridiculous. I don't even know why this dude approached me with like, so this is what you condone? You guys think this is cool? No, bro, I don't. You don't know the first thing about me. And I was waiting with that fucking gun cocked and loaded to fucking blow that on them motherfuckers to be like, hey, you want to know something, fucko? But I didn't, and I didn't have to, and I'm glad I didn't. But I was given carte blanche to defend myself if I had to, if those accusations were fucking made public, and I will if I have to, if that fucker decides to do some shit like that. But you guys just need to cool it, man. Just cool it, dude. I mean, that's cool. You like the Samurai. You don't like Perry. You don't like Reach It and all that fucking shit. Dude, it's been fucking, almost 3 fucking years now since WCR and Reach It parted ways, and you are still fucking after it. I mean, just goddamn, let it go, bro. Move on with your life. Why are you so concerned with what that man's doing? Everyone has always got something to fucking say about something. And what's weird is this fucking guy goes on a live stream, says, hey, we're partnering with Black Diamond Squeegee Rubber. Check out this Reach It store we're putting in Kansas City, Missouri. And then for the next 3 fucking days, it's constant gunslinger bashing and fuck Reach It and fucking pro window cleaning group. I got this motherfucker in my messenger and all this shit storm gets stirred up. I wonder why. Why are you doing this all of a sudden?
They want to try to.
They're obviously someone's fucking shitting in their bed at night. Is what I think. Somebody's wet the fucking bed, Fred. Is what it sounds like to me. And the same thing with these cats with the Samurai. It's obvious that the gunslinger, people are buying them and fucking using them. It's clear. It's clear. Yep. So, I mean, now their last ditch effort is to get these guys. This thing's a fucking piece of shit. I've never used one, but this thing's a piece of shit. Hi, my name is Kevin the Window Cleaner. I clean windows once a month. I have concerns about that gunslinger. What the fuck concerns you got besides when am I going to eat next, you fuck?
Yeah.
This isn't
I saw
the
one
podcast.
posted that had dicks in it. Yeah, someone had dicks in their gunslinger. And I know it wasn't photoshopped. I know a dick when I see it.
I know. If anybody knows about penises, it's me.
Oh my God.
Hey, man, fucking Mark Tanner's my spirit animal, man. I mean, like, you know. I could do a 45-minute podcast and edit our voices out and just with Mark's shower farts. It would just, every time I talked, it would just be...
Yeah,
I get one every
52.
morning. I get one every morning. Fucking this motherfucker sends me a fart in the fucking shower every morning, dude. Hey, you gotta save this one. This is my Mozart moment.
Dude, I went to the doctor yesterday. My wife and I went to the doctor. Okay,
Uh-huh.
and she's sitting there, and so my doctor's checking all this shit out, and she goes to the doctor. Let me ask you a question: Is is extreme flatulence normal? And he's like, well, if you're on a high protein diet, and I'm like, you don't understand something, doc. And I was gonna play him. I was gonna put a few on because they're always with me on my phone, But I'm like, I just kind of turned it into a joke and go, well, is it normal that they're funny? And he goes, well, to some people they are. And I'm like, well, I'm one of those people.
It's the best thing ever, if you ask me. It's the best thing. Here, I gotta get something out here. I got a sample here. Of some 22-inch black diamond squeegee rubber. That's black diamond squeegee rubber, guys. Get you some black diamond squeegee rubber at outlawwindowcleaner.com or black diamond squeegee rubber. Actually, it's black diamond squeegee, not squeegee rubber. So it's blackdiamondsqueegee.com. You know it comes together there, so it protects the ends, right? How cool is that?
You have to pull them apart.
Yeah.
They're stuck together.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're you have to split them in two.
Oh, and it leaves a nice sharp edge, obviously.
Oh yes, every time.
That's cool.
Yeah, so he does that to protect the edge in packaging. You know what I mean? So you get a bulk of these, they're going to be. But
I'm going to buy.
I've seen that you're going to buy yourself a dozen. I think you're going to like them. I really do. I think you're going to like them.
Look, here's the thing. I'll buy a dozen, and even if they last, some people are saying they last just as long. I'm just saying hypothetically, if they last 3/4 as long, and for me, I split I'll use a rubber, again, depending on what I'm doing. If I'm doing a commercial building where the windows are beat up, you got to change more often.
Of course.
On average, for me, 3 days on one side, I trim the ends off, flip it around for the last 2 days of the week, and I'm good. But at the cost savings, even if it doesn't last as long, I'm still ahead of the game.
It is cheaper, but I can tell you what kind of rubber do you use now? Sorbo?
Well, I use both because I have brass.
What brand do you use for your Sorbo? You use Sorbo? I can tell you from experience from using Sorbo for a long time, Sorbo rubber in my Sorbo channels, this lasts longer than my Sorbo rubber.
Really?
Yeah.
And okay, but like I bought, I had put that on the post when that Pulex Black Beauty squeegee came out, that real light black aluminum squeegee with the pivot handle. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Oh, yeah.
But it was a really, really nice squeegee. And it comes obviously with the Pulex rubber. And I found that the Pulex rubber is lightning fast when you start with it, but then it feathers out after a day. It needs to be flipped, and so you get two. So I was like, man, I like this rubber. And then by the second day, I was like, nah, it's not for me. And I'm just hoping that the Black Diamond, if it can last or be half as durable. Now, remember, when you're doing storefronts and stuff, I squeegee my sills off. You might say that's a crime, but I squeegee my fucking sills off, and we're constantly going over vinyl lettering, and we're beating them up. You're putting it to the test. So as long as it's durable and it lasts, I'm in.
I think you'll enjoy it, man, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah. I actually have a package in my container that someone sent me. I don't think it's Black Diamond, but I don't know who else offered samples when they first came out. And I haven't, honestly looked at the packaging to see where they came from, but I'm going to, I might even have a couple Black Diamond, but they're not stuck together like that, so they're probably not.
Well, I can't. I'm not used to doing that thing.
What?
That vape pen.
Penis puffer.
That CBD oil vape pen. I mean, it makes your shoulder not hurt, but I don't know how to smoke it. I just did a bong hit or something. I can't fucking do it, man. I called my buddy. I was like, man, is there something else? Can I have some CBD oil pills or something? Because I can't fucking do the smoky thing.
I sent you a picture of the stuff I use. You put it under your tongue, and it's awesome.
Really?
It's awesome. Yeah, I sent you a picture of the bottle after the last podcast. Check your text messages.
I know that. Yeah, I saw that, but I'm saying, does it have the same effect of what I'm looking for to stop your shit from hurting?
Yeah, my knees, my elbows, my shoulder, everything. You take it twice a day. You put it under your tongue. I take it in the morning. I keep a bottle on my counter so I don't forget in the morning when I take my vitamins. And then I'm in my truck on my way home from work. I have it in a cup holder. I will take it on the way home. And, it's residual effects. So if you miss it for a day, you're not going to have a problem. And I got my buddy Jeff taking it now. His whole family's taking it. It might be some form of network marketing. I have no idea. I'm not a distributor or a seller. I just buy the shit. My wife gets it for me. And I got to tell you, within the first day and a half, 2 days, and maybe it's up here, but I'm feeling better. My knee is better.
I tell you what, the fucking, this little deal here, if I could fucking smoke it without dying, it's pretty badass. It's solid shit, man. It works. It cures what ails you. You know what I mean? It does.
Yeah, I just don't want to put shit in my lungs. That's just me, man.
Yeah, the vapor thing, yeah, it's a little... Well, you got shit in your mouth, so whatever. I'm not trying... You don't fucking judge me.
That's my only bad habit, I'm not judging you. I'm just saying I don't want to put shit in my lungs.
Put shit in your ass, though.
That's true. No, it comes out.
No, it comes out.
Symphony. You don't get that symphony by using it as an entrance.
Dude, I tell you what, I've kind of slowed down a little bit, man. I'm actually kind of taking it easy. My July was a pain in the ass. It was full of windows and more windows, and then after we got done doing windows, we did some windows. So it was pretty much windowrific.
Here's a I told you the story about the country club I just picked up from restoration. Now I got the maintenance on it, and so I finished that today, the restoration part of it anyway. And then two of my colleges always have extra stuff towards the end of the summer. They basically do a lot of renovation during the summer, and then they'll see what kind of money they have left over, and then they say, okay, we're going to clean these extra 3 buildings because we got to spend this money. So I have 2 colleges that are on hold right now. For each one's going to be at least a week's worth of work, and then plus all the regular stuff. And then next week I'm starting that restoration job, which is going to be the biggest single ticket item I've done since I've been in business in 20 years, and definitely my biggest project for the year. I'm kind of not looking forward to it because I'm basically going to have to move my bed in there for about a month if everything goes right. But so they're waiting for me. I actually have a meeting down there tomorrow to do a roof survey to make sure all the equipment is set up for the way we're going to use it. And so I don't know. It's going to start spread thin, and then hopefully it'll quiet down for a little bit. But I mean, year round here, and it's so fucking hot now, and we get raining every day.
Yeah.
But it rains for like an hour, so then you just can't breathe. And then the humidity comes in. But yeah, it's just nuts. And I guess we're fortunate that we can work year round, but we do pay for it in the humidity and the heat.
Right.
I mean.
Yeah, I'm fucking. I'm just. When I say I'm taking it easy, I'm just not. I'm just doing commercial work. To me, taking it easy is just doing commercial work. You know what I mean? Because commercial work, I mean, some people are like, dude, that's crazy. Like, when we did that large project I shared on Facebook.
Yeah, the one you drove around, that's a big project.
Yeah, we did that in 24 hours, the 2 of us.
24 hours as in 12 hours a piece, or 2 men 12 hours?
Yeah, 2 men, 2 men 24 hours. So
that's
about around
hours.
8, well, around, essentially, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because when you said that, I'm like, TJ's better than I thought, because that's a lot of fucking work. Every time you turn
48 hours. Yeah, 48 hours, the both of us combined, yes.
Yeah, that's a lot of work for two people to do, man.
Yeah, but we got it done, you know what I mean? But it was easy to me, because it's like, you know, I don't have to deal with fucking Mrs. Snooze Bottoms, fucking, you know, all up in my shit about, you know, oh my God, what about this window over here? Do you wash glass block too?
Could you change my AC filter?
Yeah.
No.
Can you get the bugs out of my porch light?
I had a lady one time.
Does that price include my lanterns on the back lawn?
Does it include my neighbor's windows too?
Oh, yeah, fuck off.
My God. I had this lady. I went to look at glass restoration for her. I was referred from another window cleaner, and he scratched up a bunch of windows, scraping paint off. And I went over there, and like I think I know Richie has said this, and I think you have. Where you ever just talk to someone and you know within the first 4 sentences coming out of her mouth, this isn't someone I'm going to work for.
Yes,
you know. Okay. So then sometimes you say, I'm going to price it so fucking high, she's going to say no. But if she does, then it was worth it. But realistically, it's still not worth it.
No.
You know? Well, she was one of those.
Oh,
okay.
Fuck.
So she opens her sliding doors, and there's a screen enclosure with the sliding door like 3 inches to the inside. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, well, you got to cut the screens out in order for me. I don't even know how they washed them. Well, she sprayed them with a hose, you know. And I'm like, and then, dude, I see her backing up. Like, what the fuck is going on? She was afraid. We have a lot of lizards down here.
Yeah.
Little lizards, you know.
Yeah.
She would, don't let those lizards in. I'm like, there's a fucking screen here, lady, you know. Like, watch out for those lizards, you know. I'm like, holy fucking shit. So she's like, well, you know, I'm not going to spend a lot of money on this because this isn't my fault. And I go, ma'am, just calm down. Let me look at this. So I'm saying in my head, the fucking meter, you know, if I was, what is it called, Uber? That fucking meter, fucking meter run.
You're getting
every
taxed.
sentence you're saying it's going up.
It's getting worse and worse and worse for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
So she goes, I go, well, first thing, ma'am, I can fix this. I said, but these screens are going to have to be cut out. Well, are you going to do that? I'll cut the screens, but I don't put them back up. You know, you call a screen company. You can't put the screens up? And I'm like, no, don't do screens, ma'am. And you got to watch for the lizards. I go, well, what's going to happen when I cut the screens out? The fucking lizards are going to go, hooray! I've been looking at your patio for 20 years. I'm going to go to the patio, you know?
I can't wait to get into that fucking patio. We've been waiting here for generations. This is lore in the lizard village.
Yeah. That one window today that I showed the picture of where someone chemically burned it with one restore. That lady called me yesterday, and it was a realty company that used to do a lot of commercial buildings that I worked for, and that's how they have my number. And as soon as I got there, I saw the sign said Capital Realty, and I'm like, oh my God. I walk in, say hello. I'm like, how's Todd? Oh, Todd's still doing good. I said, okay, let me see the window. I said, here's what happened. I said, you know, yeah, we paid this guy to come in here. It was $10 a window to take the stains off. I said, well, this is going to cost a bit more than $10, honey. Well, we don't care. We're charging him. So she says, how much is this going to be? I said, at least $500. I said, and that's professional courtesy to whoever your window cleaner is. Well, can you make it look good? I said, I'm going to make it perfect. So I took care of the window, and she was a pleasure.
That window that you showed a picture of in group, that you made $500 on that?
I didn't make $500. I charged them $500.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
Man, if you don't tell me how to get those halos off those windows I talked about in private message, I know what you told me. I know what you told me. Oh man, bro, don't make me fly, bro. That's you know, and that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is being a fucking master craftsman. That's what that is. When you have the confidence. Listen, but you have the confidence and the know-how to tell, I'm going to make that perfect. And you made it, it was fucking perfect. It looked really good, dude. That's crazy. Look at the edges.
Yeah. Got the edges.
It's
beautiful. I
actually
pulled some of the weather stripping out, cleaned behind the stripping, and then put it back in.
Beautiful job, Mark.
But here's the thing, TJ. they're not all like that.
Of
Okay,
course,
you know,
yes, yeah.
you don't and every one I do, I learn something about. And that one didn't fight back. I always say, you know, like that country club I just finished up. One of my guys came over. They come behind me, and they're using steel wool and doing the detail work behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And how's it going? And I'm like, and none of my guys polish. I got one guy, Mark, that's pretty good at polishing. He's going to come down and ride that swing stage to the job. I invited you to come down if you wanted to. And he's good at polishing. But I'm the only one that's still doing it because they're busy doing other things and I don't want to teach them. But my point is that because they're local, and even though they've been with me for a long time, it's just something I hold tight. But my point is this: to this day, whether I charge $500 for a window or $100 for a window, you know, I still learn something on every fucking window that I do.
Right.
Because you can do two windows side by side that have two of the same stains,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to react different to what you do to them. So,
Right.
but once you've done enough of it, you know how to counteract something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If something starts going bad,
Right.
you can immediately change your technique or change your polish or change your compound or change your pad or change your speed. There's a lot of variables. And again, you know, look, I know when I leave that I never want to hear, well, it certainly looks better than it was, because that's that you might as well kick me in the fucking teeth.
Right.
You know, I want to leave where you say that fucking thing looks like it's brand new, you know, because I'm charging you, you know, and to pay $500 to fix a window that costs at least $1,500.
Yeah.
Impact glass that would have to be take apart the frames, change it out, have it cut, and everything else, you know, is a fucking drop in the bucket to them.
Now I have a question. Now, do you and you know, I don't know, maybe I'm completely wrong about this, but would the type of glass that you're used to dealing with, would that be different than the kind of glass that I would be dealing with? You know what I mean? Like others would be, because you deal with hurricane glass and stuff. Is that like different than?
No. Hurricane impact glass, as we call it, is generally laminated glass, two pieces of glass with a barrier in between it. That you have to be careful to get it too hot, but that's rarely an issue. I did the glass in Martha's Vineyard, and that was a huge concern. But those were, I think, Newcastle windows. And, you know, a lot of the same manufacturers that I see people complaining about Pella and this and that. Now, we don't have Pella Storms, but we have Pella impact glass here. So realistically, I don't think I've done everything from shower enclosures to fish tanks to cooktop ranges, you know, the ceramic cooktops on your stove.
Right.
I've restored those. Sometimes different glass will require more aggressive polish, but for the most part, it all seems to be. The only difference, honestly, is some glass will polish out quicker than other glass. Like some glass, dude, I can do a complete scratch removal with washing it, detailing it, and moving to the next one in 15 minutes, and it was a big scratch. And some of them takes an hour and a half, just because the glass could be harder. Or, you know, I mean, I've always figured sometimes you do two in a row on the same manufacturer, and one takes longer than the other, and it's the same similar scratch. And that's because, you know, we say, well, maybe that one spent 5 more minutes in the tempering furnace. I don't honestly have the answer for that. I don't think every piece of glass is as hard as another one. I do believe there's differences there. But realistically, I don't think it makes a difference if I was, you know, my concern when I went to Martha's Vineyard is it was 40 degrees out. Right. And I'm like, I need, look, the bottom line for glass restoration is heat and friction. You need heat and you need friction to remove a stain. Bottom line, okay? Orbital polishers, I'm going to get me an orbital polisher, like a DA. That fucking thing does nothing. Does nothing. Save your fucking money, you know? A drill. I got my Makita drill, and I'm going to fucking, here, wait. I'm going to try not to laugh here. God damn it, I can't get my tools when I want them here. I got a whole, here. This is what I like for glass restoration, you know? I prefer this, you know? I'm like, you know what?
Well, I know when I initially spoke to you, I initially reached out to you because of some of the remarks you made on Facebook about glass restoration, and we were all on a post, and I think it might even have been in Pro Window Cleaning. We were all on a post, and it was talking about some guy had a stain on some glass, and all these fucking guys were like, oven cleaner, and the only person I saw, you know, in the group, because, you know, I'm kind of like I like to experiment before I fuck with anything, you know what I mean? Like, on my own shit, like, I've got some screen burn around the house, and I've got some fucking calcium build up on some shower doors, so if somebody asks me to do it, I'll fuck with my shit first. And, so I know what's going to do something and what's going to fuck something up. And just to see, I see your interactions back and forth with these guys. You're like, you know, what do I know? You know what I mean? You try to help them out, and they were like, you know what I mean? And you were really passive about it. Like, all right, then cool, dude. And I was like, what do you know? You know what I mean? And then you kind of, you know, you didn't give me all the keys to the lockbox or nothing, but you're like, don't buy what you're getting ready to buy. You want to know what to buy, give me a call. I'll tell you what to go get. Yeah. Don't buy none of that fucking dumb shit. Do the right thing. So
look, there's so many much more efficient ways than going the chemical route that are safer and will work 99% of the time. Okay? Now, it frosts my ass, and I don't share as much as I used to when someone starts talking about oven cleaner or toilet bowl cleaner. You know what? All those chemicals are acid based. Okay, they will damage glass, and even if you get the stain to come off, it's coming back even worse when you're done with your chemical treatment. You know, I'm not here to poo poo. Look, I've used it in the past, and I've learned my fucking lessons. Number one, you don't want to be putting that shit on your skin. You don't want to be breathing it in. Okay, acids only really work on calciums. They don't work on silicate stains, mineral runoff and stuff. They don't take any of that off. And I did that country club, and I had more trouble getting the calcium deposits were thick. Okay, so I don't put my polisher on those calcium deposits, because then you're carrying all that mineral and spreading it around and swirling and scratching glass. So I knock the stain down with a scraper. Simple. And I knock the stain down as far as the scraper is going to take it. I wash it and then start with my polishing process. Okay. At that point, I'm not doing anything but removing, you know, a smallest amount of glass to try to flatten it back down, get the pits and divots out of it, and make it optically clear. And there is no chemical that I know or have tried, and I've tried them all, that works the way mechanical polishing does. Now, I compound my own polishes. I would send them to the right people that I knew had respect for what I was sharing with them, because you're not going to reverse engineer it. You know what I'm saying? That costs you a fucking shit ton of money at a science lab. That's not worth it, you know, to do some windows. But my point is, you know, to become proficient at something that not a lot of other people do, you can't write your own paycheck, because, you know, it's still it's outside the realm of window cleaning, but it's still a service that has more of a value than window cleaning. So, you know, I ended up at this country club, and my issue wasn't taking the sprinkler stains off, which had been beating the glass for 5 years. It was taking off the damage that others had done with multiple different chemicals. And I could tell there were multiple different chemicals. Some of it was obviously an aerosol type can, because it was like spray paint, you know, like you spray paint and it gives you a 3-inch swipe, and you could see it ran down. And then some of it was in a spray bottle, and I started saying, the guy that did this is obviously taller than me, because he was reaching up with the spray bottle when he made that mistake. You know what I'm saying? And to see people say, get Kaboom or oven cleaner or this and spray it on a window, dude, you'll never know how bad that is until you have to replace that window, and no one wants to. So here's the point, TJ, and even practicing on your own glass at home, not a great idea. If you go to any installer, and I'm friends with all the guys here because I do restoration work for all of them, I get all the free glass I want. I don't think I've ever paid for a mirror or I go to my guy, I need some Starfire. Next time you get a shower enclosure that has the wrong cut glass, or you take down someone's shower enclosure that's trash with stains, let me have it, because they just recycle it anyway. Come pick it up. I've got 2 shower doors in my shop that I've been cutting on for 5 years. You know, they've been beat up, they've been scratched up, they've been, you know, bludgeoned. I set one out in the sprinklers to get a stain to it, to try different techniques. Try it on, you know, some free glass. You really want to learn glass restoration? Go buy a mirror. If you can fix a mirror, because a mirror looks back at you,
right,
you've accomplished it compared to a window, you know.
So what I should do is go and get some mirrors, and then go get some Easy Off, and an orbital sander, and get it out.
Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight. Don't forget your 20% coupon.
I'll get some 80 grit fucking sandpaper, and just fucking
silicon carbide.
You know, all
you got to get
silicon
carbide. Yeah.
All I need is Easy Off. That's all I need.
Yeah,
all you gotta do is ask the internets, and it will tell you that all you need is Easy Off or Barkeeper's Friend.
Barkeeper's Friend,
you fucking assholes, man.
Comet. Here's the thing.
Dude, it gets it off. That's all I know. I've been doing this shit for 20 years, bro. It gets it off. Yeah. I mean, I got to go back next year with it, but it doesn't matter. It gets it off.
Yeah. The same stuff that I use to take the skid marks out of the toilet fixes windows, too. How much fucking sense is that? You know? And here's the fucked up thing. I'm one of the people standing up on a soapbox and saying, don't use these chemicals. And 50% of the restoration I do is caused by other window cleaners. So realistically, I'm making money on their fucking stupidity, yet I'm telling them not to do that. Right. You know? I mean, the guy that I'm working with on this next restoration job, his company came in and did all the wet sealing. Now
Listen,
that guy,
I don't mean to cut you off here, but this one time I sent Mark a message, and I'm like, dude, I've got this problem. I got this stain on this glass, and I went and bought some. What was it? Diamond something. Diamond
Magic.
Diamond Magic. And you could just tell by the way Mark typed the text, it was like, you fucking idiot, but without saying you fucking idiot, he was just like, I don't think you should have done that. That's not going to work on that. You should have just called me, and I would have told you what to do. That was the text message back. But really, what he was wanting to say is, you fucking idiot.
Well, I'm trying. Look,
you're just trying to be helpful.
The stain is someone else's fault, right? Whether it's the sprinklers or runoff from the roof. But when you go fuck it up with something, and even though, you know, when I used to approach glass restoration, I was unsure of myself enough to where I would tell the people, listen, you have to understand, whatever I do, we're going to make it better. I'm going to try to make it perfect for you, but the window is already fucked. Remember that, you know, because then you go, well, look at that swirl you left there. You know, I'm not paying for that, and now I got to look at that swirl, but you're not looking at the giant scratch that used to be there. I don't know how to get rid of that swirl right now, you know. So it was a lot of that, of unsure, to where I just came in my shop for hours and hours and hours for over 5 years, ordering shit and trying shit and buying stuff that I don't even use anymore.
Yourself to a level proficient enough to be like, listen, guys, don't do this. I'm not just saying this because I like to fucking say it. I say it because I've been fucking trying to work this out for a little bit.
Yeah. Well, here's the first, TJ. If you came down and came to me on this job, you would save 3 years and a lot of money if you were interested in really becoming proficient at glass restoration. You would save years and money because when you left, you wouldn't be great at glass restoration, but you would have it in your head of the way that I do it, and then you would be able to practice that. And as long as you spent the time and the passion to perfect that, and again, stains could be different up by you.
And before we go any further, I gave this guy, fucking Mark, I gave him more hand jobs than I think he's had in his entire life. So don't think that is an open invitation for every one of you fucking momos across the USA to come, hey, Mark, can I come down there and you show me to? No. I've been stroking this dude off for 3.5, almost 4 years now. You're not going to just step in there try to honey dick Mark into some other ass. Listen, I'm not going to have it.
Yeah. Years ago, I was on a job. Actually, there's one of the time I met Perry. He came out and he saw what we were doing, and I knew I was onto something because Perry pulled me aside and he said, "I'm going to tell you something. I travel around, though I live in China, and I met hundreds of window cleaners." And he said to me, "And I'm looking at what you have done and what you haven't done yet. And I'm telling you now that very few people are accomplishing results like what you're getting here. So you need to keep focused on refining that, and it's going to go wherever you want it to." And I took that because I have a lot of respect for him. Mm-hmm. And the fact that he's met hundreds and thousands probably of window cleaners across the country, and obviously this has been a topic of discussion or he's come across it many times, that I respect what he said. So on that same job, I'm not going to drop a name because this was funny. Perry wanted to hang on a minute, I got someone walking up. Perry wanted to bring another guy in and I could teach him. Mm-hmm. And we're making all the arrangements and everything, and then I get a private message of, "Well, how much are you going to pay me?" And I'm like, "What?" And I go, "You're coming on to a contracted job that I've already got my guys on. You know, they're doing the detail and the window washing. I don't understand your question." "Well, if I'm coming down there to work, I go, "But you don't know anything, so you're not going to produce anything. You know, that's like taking a brand new employee that's never seen a bucket and expecting to make, $20 an hour. Well, it doesn't work that way. I mean, I'll give you 10 until you become productive, then you get 15. But I go, well, wait a minute. That's when a light went off in my head with what Perry was saying. I go, but when you leave here, you're going to have the ability to go make 6 figures doing this on a couple jobs. So why would I pay you and give you my knowledge? And I'm like, I just don't think this is going to work because you're sounding very selfish. And I'm not a selfish person. I like to share, but I have to share for the right reasons, not right. For if you're going to go better your family and your business and your living, I'm cool with that. But if you're going to take what I give you and go share it with everybody or sell it to somebody, then that's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
What a fucking fuckhole.
But yeah. How much are you going to pay me? What the fuck do I look? And I go, giving you some polish.
How much you gonna pay me? How much you gonna pay me to learn?
I love that voice. That's freaking awesome.
How much you gonna pay me to learn this job? Hey, you want to invite me down to your house?
You know what that sounds like? You remember the movie Tommy Boy?
Yeah.
That sounds like some of the Chris Farley lines in the movie.
Yeah, that voice he did. Yeah, that shit's hilarious. Yeah. I think that's where I'm drawing that from. I'm channeling a little bit of him there.
Like I said, and I'll say it publicly, TJ, you have the open offer. You have a month to figure out what you're going to do.
Yeah, I know.
Because that's 4 to 6 weeks.
I wish it fucking was. Dude, I wish it wasn't right now. I know it is what it is for you. You got to do what you got to do. But man, for me, it's just like, I haven't decided. I'm undecided. It's not like I'm trying to work it out. I'm trying to make it happen, actually. Because I really want to do that. I really want to. I'm not excited about a swing stage. I'm not excited about none of that shit. But the only thing I can think about is I have an opportunity to learn something from someone that I hold, I feel like in a regard like I'd be watching my grandfather twist threads on the end of a piece of black iron pipe. We're about to do some gas line. You know what I mean? Like I'm about to learn something that I can take with me the rest of my life type of shit. You know what I mean? Like you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying my best to get it worked out. We'll see over the next week. I'll know for sure what's going to happen. So.
It's all good. Look, if it's not this one, it'll be another one.
Eventually it's going to happen. Hopefully something happens in a time where it's like I can just be like, not even have to think about it. You know what I mean? But I'm going to try my damnedest to make it happen.
It'd probably be prime opportunity in the winter time because you're slower then, and we're still pushing here. And this company I'm doing this building for, they own 4 buildings. I'm on the second one, and I got a good feeling when we're done with this one, numbers 3 will come next year, and number 4 will come the year after.
Building 3 and 4 are probably like 48-story motherfuckers, and that'll be the one that I come down for. I ain't scared though. It's all good.
It's only 6 stories, and the one next to it, which theoretically would be the next one, is like 10 or 11.
Mm-hmm.
And it's swing stage work, dude. So I mean, you're standing on a platform.
Right.
You know, it's not. There's no the rigging is already there.
Right.
So it's a matter of getting used.
Dude, this is a TV show. It's supposed to be funny. You don't have to get all fucking serious all the fucking time and psychoanalyze me and all that fucking shit. Pull the dad card on me.
No,
old ass
I'm gonna
motherfucker.
put one clause in this deal, okay? Because I had this happen to me. And I only remember the year because it was my older Super Duty, the year I bought that, because I had it for like a week. And a young kid named Josh, go figure, came to me for a job. And I was in the middle of a high-rise job. Well, it was a 7-story building. Mm-hmm. And I was pretty much working on my own, or I'd get a couple guys that would do piecework with me. Mm-hmm. And he came down from out of state, and he's like, I know how to do this. I saw his equipment, and he seemed to know what he was talking about. And I put him on the building, and, dude, like, we get down, and I'm like, something fucking stinks. Now, here's my point, TJ. I can see blood and guts all day, but if something fucking smells bad, you're gone.
Do I look like I smell or something?
No, I haven't got to my point yet. This kid was using a Sky Genie, which is a cylinder descent. I've never used that, and it would slip on him, and the rope that we were using, which was 7/16, the Sky Genie, I believe, likes a 1/2-inch rope, so it's a little fatter, so it's fast with the 7/16 rope. Long story short, he dropped a few times faster than what he had expected, and he shit his pants, okay? And then he got down in the bushes and cleaned his pants out and threw his underwear in the bushes, okay? And he was just wearing shorts. But I'm getting the elevator with this guy, and there must have been remnants or something.
Residues, some residuals.
Yeah, fuck. His ass probably looked like a Jackson Pollock painting.
So I'm still waiting for you to get to the point where you're saying you don't think I stink. So what's the caveat here? Whatever you do, if I come down, I can't shit myself?
Yes, exactly right. Not only that, this kid can't. I brought him to work. Yeah. My truck was fucking a week old. I'm like, listen, dude, we didn't have Uber back then.
Don't shit in my truck.
No, fuck that. I didn't even let him sit on the seat. I go, I'm going to buy you a cab. Here's your day's pay. This just isn't for you anymore, and you need to go. I never heard from him. I gave him his day's pay, and I paid for his cab to go home because I was letting his crusty fucking ass sit on my brand new seat. So come down and shit yourself. You'll be taking the fucking boat back to fucking Ohio, bitch.
That's fucked up, man. That's fucked up, bro. You mean I can't sit in the new Super Duty with shitty underwears? That's fucked up, man. That's fucked up, bro.
I'll only let you do it if you put on a pair of jorts and let me take pictures.
You ain't never getting me in a pair of fucking jorts, dude. I can tell you that much right now. I can tell you, you will never get me in a fucking pair of jorts. It's never gonna happen, bro. I'm not the jorts type, man. I don't do that shit. I'm not that kind of girl. You know what I mean?
You have no idea. My wife's number. She went out and bought me all new shorts because she gave me a fucking complex. I swear to God.
Well, I swear to God. Listen, man. I'm, not to be a fucking asshole or nothing, but I feel good about it because she agrees with me. She agrees with me that she allowed you to, he's short, and I don't want to make him, I don't want to give him a larger complex than he already has, and tell him, like, listen, you're short and you wear jorts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got my legs are this fucking big because of the fucking long pants now.
Mark's like, I got my long pants on. I got my long pants on.
I got a tan like this big on my legs.
I need my jorts. Where's my jorts?
That man is striped around the legs.
Well, you always got them fucking big-ass clodhopper fucking work boots on, you know what I mean? Can I ask you, what's the deal with the fucking snow dong? I mean, Is that a snow dong? Is that a snow dong on your profile? One of your profile pics is a snow dong.
The one that I'm holding it?
Yeah. Is that a snow dong?
Yes. Yes. No,
where does one obscure a fucking snow dong in Florida? Where do you get a snow dong in Florida?
That was in New Hampshire. I went to visit my family.
Okay, and that's when you made the snow penis.
Yes, in the yard, in my in-laws' yard.
No cheese wax penises. We made a snow penis.
My father-in-law pulls up and he goes, "I'm not exactly sure what that is, but you better take that down before Kate's grandmother gets here." I think it was like 8 feet tall. The neighbor. The neighbor.
You went to your in-laws' house and fucking made an 8-foot tall snow dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so fucking funny.
I had never seen snow, so me and my brother-in-law, I'm trying to make a snowball, right? And he's like, "This is powdered snow. We'll make a snowball." I'm like, "What the fuck do I know about snow, right?" So all of a sudden, dude, I turn. He yells, "Wet snow!" And I turn my head right in the side of the face. I get clobbered with the snowball. It hurt like a motherfucker, man. I'm like, "Holy shit! Was there a rock in there?" And he's like, "No, it's just wet snow. We can make." He goes, "You want to make a snowballs or whatever? Have snowball fight over here on this side of the yard." So okay. So I start rolling up a fucking snowball, and then it turned into a 6-foot penis. My brother-in-law is 6 foot tall. He had to stand on the nuts to put the head on it, right? The neighbor, who of course I don't know the neighbor,
right?
He waits. He's like, "Hey guys, what are you building? A lighthouse?" And I'm like, "Yeah, wait till you're," you know. The funny thing was, my father-in-law, who's ex-military, I had trouble making him laugh. He doesn't have a lot of sense of humor. And we're sitting inside the house, and I see him come pulling up in his car, and he stops halfway up the driveway, doesn't pull in the garage, and he's just looking at it. And then I see him laughing. I'm like, okay, he thinks it's funny. So that's when he comes in and he goes, "I'm not exactly sure what you guys built out there, but that needs to be done before Kate's grandmother." Well, we tried to move it to the end of the street because they were on the back, right? But we were, you know how, like, physically we could pick it up, but we were, yeah. We were laughing too fucking hard to lift. But
Mark's out there with this fucking 6-foot penis.
Dude, it was this big around. It was huge. We couldn't move. We moved the shaft and the head separately. We put it back together at the end of the street. Okay.
I can't take anything you're saying seriously after you said we move the shaft and the heads. He said we moved the shaft and the head separately. It was just too big for us to handle.
It was. It was fucking huge. Spray bottle. We took spray bottles and sprayed it with water so it would ice over, right? And we moved it. We got it reassembled at the end of the street. And dude, like 2 years later, when I saw my father-in-law, actually they had moved to Florida at that point. He goes, "I got to tell you one thing, Mark." And I go, "What's that?" He goes, "Remember that snow penis you built?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "That was the last thing to melt." He goes, and the funny thing is, it never just completely melted. It just shrunk and shrunk. I said, "That's the way we designed it."
Dude, that is the funniest fucking shit. He said we had to move the shaft and the heads. Man, I tell you what, if you don't like Outlaw Window Cleaner Radio, you can go fuck your mother. You know, fuck you. That shit's so fucking funny, man.
Yeah, the one that I'm holding, that was because when we had got up there was only like snow on the side of the about it. So I told the wife, pull over. There's snow over there. I need to go make something.
Look at that. Oh my God. I just always wondered about that picture. Now I know. That was probably like the best story ever.
I will get you
the shaft and the head separately.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you a picture on. I'll put it on Outlaw. My wife has it, of the original 6-footer that we built. You'll be impressed.
You'll be impressed. It was impressive.
Tall. Yeah, well, my brother-in-law had to stand on the nuts to put the head on. That's how big it was, and he's 6 foot tall. So I say it's 6 foot tall.
That's fucking
so I'll
sweet,
get
bro.
pictures for my wife, and I'll put it up on Outlaw.
Nice.
You'll enjoy it.
Nice.
But look, I was at the
You
dog
seem
park.
like a very jovial guy. Like there's not too much you take seriously. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but you seem to try to find the joy and the humor in just about anything you can. I'm the same way. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Work is one big joke to me. You know what I mean? Hey. We're out there. We're being serious. We're fucking professionals. But if we can get a few in on each other, let's do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I keep a light. I like to laugh when there's time to be serious. I'm serious. Me and one of my guys were at PGA National cleaning the country club right before one of the big golf tournaments, right? Mm-hmm. So I go to the guy, Jason, I got to take a leak. And he's like, yeah, me too. So we walk into this bathroom, and we walk in, and he points to a stall. And he doesn't say anything. He just points to the stall. So I look, and I see pants down. Someone's taking a dump, right? So we're both peeing. We go to wash our hands, and he's like, and I'm like, and he goes, so we walk to the door, because the guy didn't make a fucking sound, right? Mm. And Jason goes, he grabs the door pull, he opens the door about 4 inches, and he just lets it go, and he's like, and then all of a sudden you hear the thunder go, because the guy, we started giggling like a bunch of fucking schoolgirls. Yeah, I have fun with almost everything I do because, like I said, life's too short to not enjoy. And there is
yourself,
joke, and there is a joke in just about anything, and you just like I'll tell you, I'm going to get in trouble for this, but even my older son, he's got a really good sense of humor. There was a foreclosed house up the road, and the guy that lives next door to it, my son works with him. So he goes, hey, can you bring your dad's trailer over here? We're going to move some stuff out of the yard, and there's a bunch of shit. All I know is my son comes home with a fucking wheelchair, right? Now, that's not supposed to be funny, but it is. Right. Because I come home, and my wife calls and says, I'm up at the grocery store. Can you send Scott up to bring my wallet? I left my wallet at home, and I can't pay for the grocery. Okay, Scott, go to your mom. She's at the grocery store. All of a sudden, I look over, him and his buddy are loading the fucking wheelchair into the back of his truck. I'm sitting in the fucking grocery store, and he comes rolling in this fucking wheelchair. I go, she's like, that's your son. And I'm like, it's not supposed to be funny, but it fucking is. And Scott goes, the funny thing is, people kept staring at me going, there's nothing wrong with that kid. And he goes, and then a couple people followed me out into the parking lot and watched me stand up out of it, fold it up, put it in the back of the truck, and get in and drive. And so it's got this fucking wheelchair sitting on my front porch, right? And my mailman pulls into the driveway, and I'm just sitting in the wheelchair on my phone. So I see him go, and I go, what? And he goes, oh, I thought something happened to you. I go, no, I can't stop that. He goes, it's not supposed to be funny, but it is. I mean,
you just can't help it, man. My favorite thing to do to people is I like to take a wet mop and stick it in their ass. That's my favorite thing to do. I love to do washer dots on guys' asses. That's my favorite thing to do.
Here's what you got to do to Jeremy. I worked with him to take his mop. He'd walk behind me, and he would run it up my leg because I wear shorts. And that would fucking sit chill up my spine. I swear to God, I'd turn around and fucking try to slug him, right? So I used to take my take the mop out of your gunslinger or your bucket, and then keep the wet end, and then just stick it right between his legs and go pee pants, right?
That's what I do. That's what I do. I take us, and it's always right in their fucking asshole. What I do is I take the mop, it's nice and wet, and I walk up behind them and I jab it right in their ass crack. Yeah. So their ass and their underwear is wet for at least an hour. You know what I mean? They got this big wet spot. And I'm always like, dude, why is your butt all sweaty? As people are walking past.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. If you do it right, he'll have that ring around the outside.
Yeah. It's so good. It's so good, dude. My one buddy, the one guy I started, his brother's the one I bought the business off of. His name's Jeremy. His name is also Jeremy. We used to work together a lot, and every time I got on a fucking ladder, Jeremy would foot it. Because it was usually, I did a lot of the high work, the 40s. I was on the 40 a lot when I first started out, because I didn't give a shit. You know, everyone else gave a shit, but I was like used to being that high, so I was like, all right, I'll get on the 40-footer. Every time I get on the 40-foot ladder, Jeremy would be like, dude, I could totally see your downstairs right now. Every single time I would go up the ladder. And I'm always like, I was always self-conscious. I was like, man, can he really see my balls? Or, you know what I mean? He's like, dude, I can totally see your whole downstairs right now, all of it.
I got to tell you one. You just reminded me of a story. When I worked for this guy, we had a girl. Her name was Billy. Mm-hmm. She was pretty good on a ladder. She tried to learn high-rise. It really wasn't for her. But she was a decent window cleaner, and what she didn't
My grandma's name was Billy.
Yeah. So me and Billy were at this job, and the boss shows up, and he's got the 40, and he sets the 40 up, and he was a big dude. I mean, he weighed 325 pounds easily, and he used to wear khaki shorts and a polo-type shirt. Mm-hmm. And so he's doing the right thing by telling Billy, here's how you foot the ladder. I'm going to go up and clean it. I want you to watch me how I reach to the left, reach to the right, and how I clean the windows. They were like third story. So then I'm just standing there next to her, and she points up. And I'm like, points up, and I look up, and there it is, dude. All his glory, no underwear, and his fucking pant legs are wide fucking open, right? I'm like, that's almost sexual harassment, you know? I mean, you're telling this group to watch what you're doing, and you're fucking. It looks like the fucking Liberty Bell. His nuts are hanging down.
Hey, listen, ask Jeremy, because ask my new Jeremy, because I wear basketball shorts with no draws all the time. I mean, I'm sure he's seen my nuts about 3 or 4 times.
Well, here's what we.
I'm all balls. I'm all balls.
I got in trouble for this one. So me and John, when I told John, and John had a thing for Billy. You didn't talk bad to Billy. You weren't disrespectful to Billy. John was an older guy. So I told John, I go, dude, I go, it's fucking disgusting. The guy climbs a fucking ladder. He's talking to us. We look up, and he's got no fucking shorts on. He's like, really? He goes, we'll take care of that motherfucker. Well, we have a store here called Rothschild Tall and Big. It's a big man store, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, where the fuck are we going, John? And he goes, come on in with me. And he buys a pair of 64-inch fucking tighty-whities. They were huge, right? Then he goes into the Walgreens and he buys a fucking Sharpie pen. I'm like, what the fuck is this project? I want to be included. He says, you get to write the name. So we wrote his last name in the underwear. Right? And then John took Hershey's Kisses with peanuts in them and chewed them up in the fucking underwear. So then my job was to distract. This was the boss. We collected a paycheck from this guy.
Oh,
he goes, distract them. And I'm going to throw it on the passenger seat floor of the truck. We got our asses beat for that. He was. I go, dude, you know, you climb a fucking ladder and you got a woman here. She's 25 years old at the time. I go, and you're talking to us and you're not wearing, oh, I wear underwear. I go, no, you weren't wearing no fucking underwear. And if you were, it was not, everything else was fucking visible. You just need to fucking respect. But we got in trouble for that.
He's probably, you know, as a chubby guy, when he sits down, his legs probably stretch the underwears out. Maybe, I don't know. And then
I don't know, dude.
See his unit.
Yeah, to this day,
it's fucking. So was it like big? So like he was like exuding that big dick energy. Like, look at my dick.
I never saw the dick.
Balls.
I just saw this tremendous pendulum hanging down.
Gooch. The old gooch. It's all gooched out with a pair of fucking testicles hanging there.
It looked like a fucking toy cannon.
Oh my God, Mark. This fucking podcast is off the rails. We're gonna get fucking yanked off of YouTube for this. This is the worst one we ever did. I don't know what anyone else thinks, but I think that Bigfoot is real.
I'm waiting to see some pictures.
I think Bigfoot is real. You know how much I believe Bigfoot is real, because you know how I do. You know,
Well, I don't know. I just don't get the interdimensional thing that you
listen.
guys
I want to play
about.
this. I want to play this for you, and hopefully everyone can hear it. And this is the Bigfoot man here. He was chased by a Bigfoot. He chased a Bigfoot. So.
Is resurfacing in a western North Carolina town. A man in Cleveland County says he saw the mythic beast just last week.
And as Ann Sheridan reports, this isn't the first time a sighting's been reported here.
I tried to call him.
Tim Peeler thought he was calling coyotes.
Instead of them, him.
He got something that frightened even the self-proclaimed mountain man.
This thing was 10 foot tall. He had beautiful hair. It scared me.
Sergeant Mark Self, as a Cleveland County deputy, didn't see the creature this time.
There was a 8 to 10 foot hairy man looking person.
But remembers the stories of a Sasquatch when he was a kid.
Was killing some animals, breaking in chicken houses, killing chickens.
It's the same M.O. that Tim says he saw for himself. The Sasquatch going after his dogs.
I come out here and rough talked him and run him off.
Got him to leave, called 911, then the creature came back.
And I said, get away from here. Get. And he went right back out that path again.
Deputies filed a suspicious person report, and Tim is still recalling the details.
He looked like he had 6 fingers on each hand.
But he was born to serve and protect.
This is just totally blowing my mind that's even brought back up.
Are left manning up, at least for the cameras.
Doesn't bother me now. I don't.
All right, Peeler says you might not believe his story. He only asks that you don't laugh. And remember the sightings of the
Sorry.
Oops. My bad, bro. Get.
The one
you
thing
go on and get.
Yeah.
I think he had 6 fingers on each hand.
You know, the one thing
and he was hairy, and he had beautiful hair. You sure that wasn't your Uncle Fred, you fucking inbred jackass?
You know what the sad part of it is, Cuss?
That was a
I'm more
Bigfoot
into
moment, by the way.
Every time, I'm into more of the alien thing than the
yeah,
Bigfoot
me
thing.
too, bro.
But every time there's a sighting of an alien or a Bigfoot, it's some fucking hillbilly. You ever notice that? It's a fucking hillbilly.
You're sure, you're right. And that motherfucker's always giving the interview outside of his fucking trailer, man. God damn it.
Yeah.
Fucking
And the
white
motherfucker-
people, man.
Yeah, it fucking ate up, man.
You don't ever
Motherfuckers
see a black.
ate up.
You don't ever see a black dude fucking talk about aliens or a fucking Bigfoot on the 11 o'clock news. It's always some fucking big chubby fucking trailer park dwelling white fucking guy. Every single time giving white people a bad name.
Yeah.
Fucking white people. And now we got liberals to contend with. Now we were just considered slack-jawed yokels for a long time. Now we're whiny pussy liberals too. Fuck me, man.
I'd rather hear from that hillbilly than some fucking slack dog.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Oh my God.
Well,
I told you, boy, the next time if we have any of that shit going on down here, I will be putting that programmer in my truck to overfuel it and douse people in diesel oil.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. Unfortunately, that's the world we live in. You know what I mean? People are fucking nuts, man. I don't really think necessarily that, all people that say that, they saw an alien or a UFO are nuts. I think it's much more plausible that you'd see an alien or a UFO before you'd see fucking Bigfoot, but I think Bigfoot's real, though. So I think Bigfoot is the alien. That's what I think. I think Bigfoot is flying those fucking spaceships everyone's seeing. Because they're really big. Like, there was that the lights over Phoenix, that thing was fucking huge, man. And that would make sense because big feetses are big. You know what I mean?
Well,
they got big feetses, so maybe they got to drive big ships. Yeah, Chewbacca's a big motherfucker, too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that motherfucker's a hairy-ass bastard.
He's a hairy bastard, and he needs a big ship.
Yep.
Just imagine like a whole crew of fucking Chewbacca's.
Exactly.
Yeah, you couldn't do that in a little fucking spaceship. It'd have to be big, like the ones you see in, what the fuck? We've cracked the code here at Outlaw Window Cleaner Radio. Bigfoot is real. They fly fucking spaceships. And they most likely use samurai buckets. Yeah.
Oh God, that's too funny. Too fucking funny.
Hopefully Kevin and fucking James get abducted and they have experiments done on their buttholes with telephone poles.
Yeah, yeah, got an anal probe.
I got a probe. Probe.
We're creatures from another planet. You want us for
creatures?
Yeah. We're gonna hear from your aunt tonight, TJ.
No. She got TP stuck in her bunghole.
Beavis and Butthead, you kids are expelled. Get out of here.
Dude, you are so good at those fucking Mike Judge voices. It's fucking hilarious, man.
I have to say this. Mike Judge, if I was going to meet anybody, I would love to meet him.
Dude, because you are so good. You do all of them so good.
Yeah, I do a lot of them. Not all of them.
Beavis, I haven't heard you do Beavis, but your fucking Butthead is fucking
Beavis,
spot on, dude.
Oh,
it's so good.
Yeah.
Dude, who was it? Somebody was like, dude, I can't believe how good. Oh, it was, Richie. Richie's like, dude, he is so fucking good at that, dude. And Tim's like, man, is that Mark doing those? I was like, yeah, that's Mark doing all those fucking voices, dude.
Dude, I'll be standing in Whole Foods, and some lady will be asking a question to the butcher, and I'm like, she said hard. I do it all the time. I do it. It's like every day. I don't give a shit.
She said hard.
Yeah, that's not hard. Yeah, those boys are some hard workers. I'll tell you what. Mike Judge is a fucking hero, dude. He really.
When you fucking send me those fucking messages pretending to be fucking Eddie. Dude, that shit's so goddamn funny, man. Oh, it's so good.
You tell your aunt if she wants to come down and visit my petting zoo, I'll show her my long-nosed hog.
Yeah, that's so good. So, fellers, if you fucking, we need some fucking input on the show. It'd be cool if you guys would send us an email at stsqueegee@yahoo.com, whatever. And fucking, send us a fucking email. We'll read it on the show, you fucks.
Yeah, I think when you opened it up before for questions, and I think you got a few because you read them. But that was really good. Not that we're know-it-alls, but between you and I, TJ, I think we'd answer most questions.
Or give you a good direction to go into, or at least, something. I mean, we talk about everything, and I kind of like to leave it open, but I would rather guys fucking like write in like a story or an antidote or something that's happened to them, or like, man, I was cleaning this lady's windows and I forgot to wear underwear and I'm in her house on a peace ladder and she looked up and saw my junk. You know what I mean? Something like that. You know what I mean? Just whatever. You know what I mean? Like my story about seeing the old lady butt naked and her waving to me. Yep. You remember that story? Anything like that, guys. You know what I mean? But, you go to www.outlawwindowcleaner.com and get you some fucking black diamond squeegee rubber. Get yourself a dozen, man. I think when you guys go look at the price, you guys are going to be pretty fucking surprised at not only the savings that you've got there, but also the quality of the rubber. It's not cheap. It's not just cheap for the sake of being cheap. It's just a good deal. Casper's got his shit together, and he can offer it to you for a good price, and it's a quality product that I've actually used for several years now. So, I mean, it's good shit. Or get yourself a t-shirt or something. And go to futurecleaning.com, get you a gunslinger. Don't take our word for it. Spend a whole $100. Or really what you should do is spend $300 and some odd fucking dollars on a fucking screen washer. Charge $117 just for getting it out of the truck, and then buy you a gunslinger, and then you can talk all kinds of shit on it if you'd like.
Yeah, make a video washing a Wendy's with a water-fed pole. There you go.
Yeah. We need as many 3-story Burger Kings as you can get done with a water-fed pole in a day, in order for you to, just to make sense of life. I won't be able to go on any further.
I'll tell you what I want, so I'm going to drop a hint. And if it's available on the page, obviously I'll purchase it. But I'm kind of liking that Black Diamond T-shirt you just showed. I got to get me one of those.
This Black Diamond rubber T-shirt, it says Outlaw Window Cleaner on the back.
Oh, did you guys make that? Is that for sale on your page?
That's for sale on our page, and it's only $15.
Sweet. And I know what shirts cost. They ain't making a big money on that stuff.
We're not making any money on it. We're just
we're
just Black Diamond supporters. You know what I mean? We're just going hard body karate. Hey, and that's another thing. If you own a product and you want to give me and Mark a T-shirt or something like that, so we can wear it on the podcast, we'll take T-shirts. We'll probably draw dicks on them afterwards, but it doesn't matter. We might make T-shirt penises out of them. We haven't decided yet.
Yep.
That's a selfless plug.
You know, let me tell you one story real quick. I know we're wrapping this up.
We're not wrapping it. I mean, I usually say that, and then you tell another story. That's the way it always works.
Yeah, I know. And then we get off on a fucking tangent.
No. That's the way the show operates. It's supposed to work this way. It's our fucking feng shui, Mark. That's how it works, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I try to end it. You tell another story, and it's the perfect podcast every time.
Yeah. Okay. As long as we're all happy with that. But I don't know if I told you this. I might have told you this when I was at the dog park, and they were talking about the college students that were given puzzles and games and stuff because they were so upset over the election. Okay? So I'm sitting next to this guy that I don't even know, and he's probably in his mid-30s, early 40s, and I said to him, they gave out fucking Play-Doh to these kids, these fucking college students. And he's like, he's the one that brought that up, that they gave out modeling clay or Play-Doh or some shit. And I looked at him, and I never seen the guy. I said, let me ask you a question. My wife is standing right there. If I gave you a can of Play-Doh, what's the first thing you would make with it? And he goes, a penis, of course. She goes, it must be a guy thing. I go, no, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Penises are great.
Yes, and you put it on display for everybody to enjoy.
Right. I don't know how many times a week I grab my 18-inch washer while it's wet, and instead of wringing it down into the bucket, I go, like I'm splooging. I mean, come on, dude. We're fucking guys, man. We talk, we send each other farts. We talk about vaginas and boobies and wieners. We're guys. Come on, guys. You know what I mean? But if you want to sponsor our show and give us free shit, we'll stop saying it. No, I'm just kidding. We will never change. We will never change. But I'll wear your T-shirt on the podcast if you want me to.
We must maintain the dignity.
Yeah, we got to have some fucking dignity, man. We got to have some dignity about ourselves. Because if we're going to get on here and not talk about penises and vaginas and farts, and what's the point of living? What's the point of living any longer? Can you come over and wash my pantyhose when you get done with my windows? Hi, Jerry. Can you trim my bushes? No, I'm here to clean the windows. Yeah, but you're standing right next to the bushes.
You've done too much residential. That's the problem.
Yeah, too much.
Oh my God.
Well, fellas, it's a win-win situation in the residential world. You're there for a little bit. You're gonna make a nice chunk of change. You're gonna get a check when you leave most times. But sometimes you gotta deal with, why don't you? What's wrong with that there? Can you do the windows in my glass hutch in my china cabinet? Let me get my clown collection out of there first, okay? Fucking Jesus. My name's Mrs. Snooze Bottom.
We got those women all over the place.
Yeah. Oh my God. I might just get rid of Wet 'em Willie and just get a wig and fucking become Mrs. Snooze Bottom.
Oh my God. I told you that story.
Snooze Bottom.
Yeah. that one time, and I've said the story, but I'm going to say it again. When we used to clean this huge tower called the Landmark, and it was all private condos. There are 3 towers, and this one lady on the first floor, she's got a huge patio with all these plants, and they're all in the way to get to her glass. And she had like 20 friends over, and she walks out, and I'm like, oh my God, who's this relic? And she goes, is Michael gonna come over here and do me?
Is Michael gonna come over here and do me later?
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that, but he's gonna come clean your windows. That's up to him.
This is what happens when fucking Tim and Joshua stand us up on a podcast. Yeah. This is what happens.
We had Tim, and I'm putting out a request for Josh because I'd really like to shoot the shit with Josh.
Yeah, Josh. You know. Josh is fucking... Dude, Josh is fucking doing like 3 fucking different companies right now. Like Josh, the window cleaner. He owns another window cleaning company. He bought from some dude last year. He's running that. And he's fucking doing a hood cleaning business too. It's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing with yourself?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Are you a glutton for punishment, this guy?
Yeah, I wish him all the success, but that's tough, man. That's sometimes it gets to a point where no amount of money is worth that aggravation.
It takes a lot out of you, man. It takes a lot out of you, dude.
Yeah, yeah. Does he have kids?
Yeah.
So I mean,
a couple kids too, and they're young too, little fellas.
Yeah.
Maybe I think he's probably taking the approach. I'm just gonna try to smash it. You know what I mean? And that way I don't have to later. But that's the way I first approached this. For the first 2 years, I did nothing but that. That's all I just all the time. You know what I mean? And this last 2 years, I'm like, it's not worth doing all that because it's a law to diminishing returns. I had tendonitis so bad in my fucking arm. I looked like I was Popeye all the fucking time. You know what I mean? Not good for you, man. It's just not. I can still make a pretty goddamn good living, and these people can wait for it. I don't have to do it all in one goddamn day every day.
Yeah. No, I told you when I started my company and I working pretty religiously 6 days a week, not having a weekend, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden I started looking, my kids are getting older and older, and I'm like, I'm not going to miss this. It's not worth it. The extra money that's coming in because I'm working every single weekend, I'd rather give that to someone else, have them for other things during the week, make money on their back, take less myself, and not miss my kids growing up. And I don't regret any minute of that. Like I said, I coached football, baseball, every sport they wanted to do, they got the opportunity to do, and they still do. And I don't, now they're into fishing. The fucking kids are fishing. So let them enjoy, because, those are the best times of your life, and without the responsibilities of being an adult. So they'll look back and know that we provided them not only with physical things to the best of our ability, but the ability to do what they wanted to do to make themselves happy. Right. And missing out on that, for a few bucks here and there, just not worth it. Yeah. That's where I'm at. It's not like that.
That's
for everybody.
Where everyone's at, but I agree with you on that for sure. And I'm probably doing a little bit more than, probably I should be right now, you know what I mean? So I'm missing some things, but I'm not doing what I was doing, which was missing every fucking thing, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? But, you got to do what you got to do in the moment, but you also got to think about your future as well. And or lack thereof, because not every day's promised. So. Well,
yes, and remember, window cleaning, it to some people it comes easier than others, but it's still a very physical job, and it wears you down.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've seen some old timers that retired from window cleaning that can't move their arms or are slouched over from carrying a bucket for so long, and whether they worked harder or smarter is actually irrelevant, because that's what they've done to themselves. So you have to say, is that really worth it, or is that where I want to be?
Like with Jeremy, after like a month and a half now, he's like, I thought this was gonna be easier. He goes, you make it. He goes, when I seen you do this on YouTube, he goes, because I sent him to my channel, like, go watch some videos. You'll get the idea of what I'm doing. And he's like, I love watching videos. Oh fuck, this ain't shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we got on a couple of jobs, and he was like, at the end of the day, and then we just did that huge job with the water-fed pole, which is the only reason why we get it done as quickly as we. And the only reason why we've got it done quicker than it used to take me about 5 to 6 business days to get that done. When we first did it, it took us almost 2 fucking weeks. But we're using fiberglass poles and lifts and all kinds of fucking shit. But with the innovation that Perry's come up with, that light ass fucking pole, and now that bronze brush makes this last time. Oh, I went through like 3 sets of pads doing the job, but man, does it look good. It looks really good. I was actually super surprised, but he was like, dude, he goes, I don't know how the fuck you've been doing this because the last 3 years, I've done it alone.
Yeah.
It's taken me a full week to do, but I've done it all myself. You know, because that's just like it's like a cruise job for me. I pull the hose off the truck, I hook the machine up, and I'm off to the races, and I just take my time, listen to my podcasts, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And he's like, dude, my fucking arms are fucking killing me. He's like, dude, he's like, in the pole's light as shit. He goes, I don't know how you do it. And he goes, we're squeegeeing in the fucking morning, then water-fed poling and squeegeeing all day. He goes, how the fuck do you, it's like, you know, you just block it out.
And you got to remember, he doesn't have the experience you do, so he's working harder.
Yeah.
And
well, I try to spell him. I know, like, a lot of guys watch my videos and they see Jeremy leaning up against a tree and I'm fucking working. You know what I mean? And people are like sending me a message. Why don't you have that fucking dude working more? It's the T Squeegee channel, not the Jeremy fucking channel. So I'm the star of the fucking show. What you missed was the 2 hours of me standing there holding the hose, fucking talking on the phone to Mark about farts and fucking wieners and shit while Jeremy was slaving away. Trust me, he's slaving away.
Yeah.
But I do spell him out because I know I've been there. I've been the new guy. Your arm fucking aches and you just want to kill somebody. You know what I mean? I get it. So, you know.
Yeah, well, my guys that work with me, and they've been, like, on Tuesday I had a restaurant to do in the morning, and I had to give Mark the pure water system, the portable. And so he met this restaurant, and I'm like, hey, we'll do it together, and then when you leave, you'll take what you need out of my truck. So I loaded the truck in the morning, we go there, you know, and I get there, and he's already there. He's halfway done with the job. We push it out. You know, I'm cleaning up. It's a restaurant and grill, and they have a wine cellar, and you got to do the doors to the wine cellar, which is locked, so you got to wait for the manager to unlock them. And long story short, you know, he knew that was the last of it. I come walking out, the bucket's in the truck, the poles are in the truck. I mean, they learn to work for you and with you versus, you know, I've had guys walk by the bucket and they didn't bring their bucket and they just look at it as they walk by and keep going. I'm like, wait a minute, is your fucking arm broken? I'm writing the checks here. Grab that fucking bucket, bitch.
Jeremy, I don't have to worry about any of that shit. I don't even have to tell Jeremy.
Yeah.
It might be because my sister's like, you better fucking do what my brother tells you, motherfucker. Yeah. No, I doubt that.
Yeah.
No, but Jeremy's pretty good about that shit. You know, Jeremy don't walk back and forth from the truck empty fucking handed. If it ain't needed, it's going back. Or if we need it, he's going to get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
No,
Jeremy's not a young guy neither. Jeremy's the same age as I am, maybe a year or two older. You know what I mean? So you know, he's not a young man. He gets it. You know, he's actually a very talented metal worker, fabricator. Very talented.
Cool.
Very talented with a lot of skill. So, you know, he gets the work part of it. He just didn't think that it was going to be as hard a work as it is. You know, it's kind of misleading sometimes. Guys are like, you know, that doesn't look like that's too bad. Yeah, okay, motherfucker.
Yeah, but what it is, it's not that it's hard physical work.
It's tedious.
It's very repetitive. It's the same thing over and over and over and over and over. It's like you ever do a big job, like I can guarantee you at that job, either you or him turn the corner thinking you had got a shit ton of stuff and see another fucking row.
You seen the video going around that motherfucker. When you think you've had her licked, you ain't got her licked. You're like, oh my god. Yeah. Every time we round the corner, Jeremy's like, dude, when does this fucking stop? I was like, I'll let you know.
I know.
It's tough,
I know. Well,
it's a big job,
we do some accounts like that, and those are the ones that I flood with every piece of labor that's worth a shit that works with me, and we try to bust them out because I would rather spend 3 days with more guys in one place than 7 or 8 days by yourself, because the quality starts to drop off just because you're physically fucking destroyed from the job.
Well, I tell you this right now, you know, as For as much of that fucking as you guys seen, there's about 20% of it you did not see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's every one of those little bricks in the fucking building, those go fucking back and left or back and right. You know what I mean? It's fucking insane, man.
Yeah. Yeah. We picked up that hospital. We did a first cleaning that was a full cleaning. And my guys actually, they're so much smarter than me when it comes to technology. They got the Google Earth view and zoomed in to see all these courtyards that I didn't even know existed.
Right.
And Mark's like, we literally have to walk through the hospital with the water-fed pole system because it's 4 stories. There's no tiebacks. And so they go, I'm like, are we going to be allowed to traipse through the hospital with a hydrocart, 200 feet of hose, a water-fed pole, and nobody said a word. Boom. Right down the hallway they go. And I was nervous about it because I'm like, not so sure this is going to fly, but
this last
the only way in.
Right. Well, this last time we did this, I bought 300 extra foot of rhino tubes, so I got like fucking 500-600 foot of that shit.
Yeah.
I pulled the truck up to these fucking double doors. There's this humongous fucking courtyard with a sky bridge that runs down through the middle of it. So the veterans, they're in their wheelchairs and stuff like that. There's a bunch of peacocks and fucking all kinds of shit in there. Well, this sky bridge is all glass. I mean, this fucking courtyard is ridiculous. So I used to always have to take all the fucking shit out of the truck, put it in the fucking, carry it through the fucking. This time I just ran a rhino tube across the fucking the basement hallway. Come out the fucking basement, fucking with the 500 foot of that the machine stayed in the truck. I laid a rug over it, put fucking 2 yellow cones up, and then a fucking some caution tape. And we did that shit it saved time. I tell you what, man, that's the name of the game with water. If I'm using a water-fed pole, I'm gonna set it up the minimal amount of times as fucking possible, and I'm gonna get as much fucking reach as I can as possible every time I set it up. Or what's
so? Let me ask you a question, because I've got a giant spool of rhino hose that I bought when Perry started making the different colors. Did it drop the pressure a lot to run an extra 500 feet?
No, I mean there's a little bit, but I have an electric hydro cart. I've got a pump on mine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean I'm talking about for my portable system has 80 psi pump on it. So I would think you had to plug that into 110 or is it battery hydro cart?
You got to plug it into 110.
Yeah. So that's probably really making some pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, I can get up to about 180 psi with it if I want. I've actually the rhino hose. Not the tube, but the hose. I turned that shit into a balloon animal with it. Like it fucking, we come around the corner. I had 150 foot of that and then fucking 400 foot of rhino tube, not thinking that change in pressure was doubling what was coming out of the fucking machine. It was the rhino tube stretched as big as my arm, but it did not break. It didn't break though. It didn't bust. It was as big as my fucking forearm, but it did not break. And I called Perry. I sent a picture of Perry. He's like, I think that might be too much pressure. It's not rated for that much. And I'm like, I'm figuring that out as I go here. See, I wanted to run a trunk line. This is what I wanted to do. I wanted to run 150 foot of rhino hose into 2 pieces of, 2 leads of rhino tube. So I could have 2 water-fed poles going at once.
Yep.
I just did.
Time I saw an anaconda eat a horse.
It was... God damn, boy. Well, you know what? I think we're gonna call it now.
Yeah. I got to get to bed because I got a big one starting tomorrow. So
and
appreciate the time.
I've got a large 3-story interior job I've got to do by myself tomorrow. So.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to go off on a tangent again, but I like to work. I work by myself, but I don't like to work by myself. Meaning this: when I'll show up at a job, I go my way. You know, I do my section. This is my part here, and you guys do all that over there.
Right.
We'll meet in the middle. Right. You know, but just leave me the fuck alone. But I just need to know you're here so I don't have to do everything. Right. That's the way I kind of look at it, you know.
Well, this is a 2-day project. I went in this morning and did all the exterior facing windows, and then tomorrow I'm going to do all the interior partition glass and all that stuff because the exterior facing windows got those fucking stupid ass removable grates and shit. and I don't want to work over people, so I'm like, get in their office, do what I need to do in their office, and then I'll come back tomorrow real early and then bang out the rest of the stuff, and they'll never know I was here unless they look out their windows. So, but this was Outlaw Window Cleaner Radio with Mark Tanner and T to the motherfucking squeege, and we'll check you guys out tomorrow or next time or on Facebook. James Riley, you're a fucking dirtbag. Kevin the window cleaner, shoot yourself. We'll see you later. Peace.
Guys, take care.
Outlaw Window Cleaner Radio, reminding you to get your Black Diamond squeegee rubbers at www.outlawwindowcleaner.com. Oh yeah, and Luke's still a bitch.